Raider Nation, we are live. So I'm excited for tonight's show, you guys. We got a few things lined up. And really, first and foremost, we're just going to keep it like we keep it at all times, man. We're going to talk all things Raiders. So I want to talk about a few roster things, maybe some coaches, maybe get a couple content creators on here and really just get the community going. And we're going to wait for a minute, let the nation pull up a little bit. I'm going to start shouting out the chat, letting you guys know of a few kind of things that are coming up. Like I said, a few collaborations. Halo Raiders in the chat. What is good, Halo? This is my guy, everybody. If you guys haven't yet, man, go over to this guy's Instagram. Just get connected with this guy. This guy is an absolutely fantastic man. And we've had a lot of good conversations behind the scenes. Halo, man, I appreciate you. Much love to you, brother. Oh, what is good? What is good, Egalitarian? What is going on, brother? Welcome to the channel, man. I'm so excited to have you guys here. Anthony, what's good, brother? All right, y'all, look, the nation's already starting to pull up. OG says, I'm only here to troll. Hey, whatever, man. As long as you're here, I'm cool with that. All right, guys. So, look, we just got a few things to talk about, really. We're going to let these guys kind of salute each other out in the chat. But, look, man, let's get into it. I didn't make a video about it because everybody else was making videos about it, and I just didn't want to do that. Hunter Renfro, he signs his contract extension, and look, this is a 2-year, $32 million deal. It's pretty pricey. But look, after sitting on it a little bit and just kind of thinking about it, look, this is overall a good deal, man. This is something that I've preached on this channel is that, look, you cannot compete with what market prices are. A caliber of slot wide receiver of Hunter Renfro, look, he's going to ask and demand a type of market like this. Look, he's not getting paid as much as Cooper Kupp. So we should look at that as a win. And look, it was time that the Raiders finally played their good players. Let's just face it. This is what good teams do. I think we're not used to seeing us like throw money at players that we're really invested into. So it's kind of different for the nation, and everybody's going to try to have to keep up with what kind of offseason moves we're making. But look, next in line is Darren Waller. And if Hunter Renfro gets 16.5, what does a guy like Darren Waller get? Halo out here. What is going on, brother? Snoop Hernandez, Raider Day. All right. Anthony, laughing at OG. Salute Ray, Raiders 805. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it greatly. So, yeah, what do you guys think about the Hunter Renfro situation? Is it a contract that you guys really like? And look, what it says to me is, look, Chandler Jones goes out and signs a 3-year deal. Derek Carr earns a 3 to 4 year extension. Max Crosby, he's got the longest extension out of everybody. Devontae, his deal is really worth up to 3 seasons. What this tells me is the Raiders are in a win now window. These next 3 to 4 seasons, you're going to see this front office, this organization go all in. Now, look, they've built a ridiculous foundation this offseason. I mean, they have really good players. So that in the years moving forward, I'm not too worried about the cap space situation, really. Now I'm looking to see them nail the draft. We gave up a few draft assets this year to go get a player like Devontae, but I really think they did a phenomenal job. We'll let those players play before we label anything of what kind of prospects they really are. But look, so far I think they've done a phenomenal job. In the years moving forward, we don't need the $60 million in cap space anymore. What we need is go get serviceable starters and really draft well. And that's what's going to take this really good football team into the future. Think about it. Raiders are in win now mode. Anthony says dynasty starts now. I cannot disagree with that, brother. Look, this is that kickstart. This season right here, coming off the 10-7 year. And look, the Raiders were a good football team, but we had a lot of positions in the cornerback room last year. We got really banged up. Had to go get guys like Brandon Faison off a practice squad. Go bring in old Des. Yell it out in the chat, man. 1, 2, 3. Raiders! I love when he comes in here, man. I love that. Let's get to some of these chats, man. But yeah, look, the Raiders are in win now mode. Super Bowl window's wide open. Couldn't agree more. Spend that money. Raiders $440 million on 5 players. Don't even get me started, Hefe, on what the Chiefs has done for almost $500 million. You got $500 million wrapped up in Patrick Mahomes, so I ain't even trying to hear it. And that's one player. Just win, baby. We're going all in, and it's about time. Put a little bit of them chips in the middle of that table and go put up some money, right? Put KC in the house. I know. You lagging, bro. Oh, I'm lagging? Let me check this connection right quick. All right, we should be good, y'all. We should be good. Do like the Rams and trade them draft picks. Now, look, we only had to do it 1 year, right? We only had to do it this year. I really don't think you have to go out and trade. Now, look, say next year they want to bring in another superstar and he's in that $14 million range. And with our cap situation, you can afford to bring in a guy like that even after all the extensions. If you want to go get up a second, go give up a second. You want to go give up a first, and it's a superstar type of player. Look, this front office is going to go get a good player if they want a good player. Check your internet connection, Anthony, because over here, everything says it's good. Says my audio's messing up. Let me check, you guys. Let me get this going here. Audio. Can you guys hear me? Let me know if it's getting better, you guys. I'm good now? Yo, okay, Anthony. Okay, awesome. Okay, let's move forward with the show. Thank you guys for keeping me a heads up, all right? That's a 10-year – look, Hefe, we're not going to acknowledge all this. It's a 10-year – I don't care if it's a 20-year deal. Y'all got a $500 million player. You guys got Chris Jones that you got $20 million wrapped up in. How much are you wrapped in with Travis Kelce? How much were you wrapped in with Honey Badger and Tyreek Hill? There's a reason why you couldn't sign those players and keep them around, because you have so much money allocated to other players. Salute OG. Audio's good. Okay, great. This is what I like to hear. All right. So moving forward, man, what do you guys think in the ballpark range of what Darren Waller is going to get paid, right? If Hunter Renfro is going out there and getting $16.5 million, what's your expectations for a Darren Waller? Is he going to be the sub $20 million? Because look, he's probably top 3 at his position. I can't necessarily say Hunter's a top 3 wide receiver. He's no Devontae Adams. Is he top 3 in the slot? He's definitely up there. But look, if he's pushing that $16.5 million range, what's Darren Waller going to ask for? Because I personally believe he's worth that $19 million a year, if that's what the going market is right now. $60 million, 3 years. Provencio, put some money on these games versus look. Hefe, I don't even think that's something that you're going to want to really do, brother. I really don't. Not this season. Look, I'm telling you, things are changing. This whole division is shifting and changing. The Chiefs, Hefe, you're not on top. Hefe, you are a closet Raider fan, bro. You are in the Raiders community more than you're in the Chiefs community. And I love you, but, bro, you have a secret love for the Raiders. You just need to come on over to this side, bro. So another thing, I wanted to ask and address the nation. Have you guys seen that Bam Asoleni has been working with Chandler Jones after practice? This is somebody who I'm really kind of excited about. I dropped a video on it tonight. I'm sure some of you guys have went and already seen it. Some of you guys that are in the chat, I know you guys have commented on it, so I know how you guys feel about it. But look, Bam Asoleni is one of those guys that I'm really intrigued about. Now, look, am I saying that he's going to be a starting right tackle? No, I'm not saying that at all. Is this a guy, though, that can come in and contribute and potentially make that protected practice squad? Is this a guy that could come in and if he really eats up training camp, really gets under Coach Bersillo, really starts grinding and taking advantage of every single rep that he gets, can this kid go out there and earn a backup tackle spot? Hey, we need it. We need that depth, and this kid has an open window. He just has something you can't teach. He's 6'8", 350 pounds with 88 and 3/8 inch wingspan. Look, that's the longest tackle in the entire NFL. He has the longest reach of anything. He has all the tools and the skill sets that you want and that you can go and make a really good tackle. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that's going to be year one. That's just a long shot. He's coming out of the University of Utah. But look, let this kid develop. He's 26 years old, so he's coming into the league a little bit older. He's only played football for three full years. This is a kid who's really raw, but look, when he offers you in the run game, he's extremely good at sealing off blocks, creating run lanes. Year one, I think he could find success running the football. Now, what he's going to have to work on is his hands and his feet. His feet and his hands together as a technique, at times it's sloppy. There's times where it looks remarkable, and he's so big that, look, when he gets his hands on you and he gets a solid punch, you're not going anywhere. I don't care if you're a bend guy, power guy, you're not going anywhere. Let's see this. Let's see this. All right, dress in the chat. GA Patriot, Raider Ray, what's up? What's going on, brother? How you doing? OG says, I saw the video that you dropped. I appreciate that, OG. Oh, man, you guys, look, this is my first subscriber ever, and he's in the building. I'm excited to put him on screen here. Ruben Ortega. What up, Raider Ray? #1 subscriber in the house. How many years are we going to go offer Waller? And look, I told you this is about this 2 to 3 year window. I could see a 2-year to 3-year contract extension, and they're going to keep this core around for short term, really, to be honest with you. What I call short term is that 2 to 3 year window. I heard that about Bam. Yeah, he's working. I'm telling you, this is a guy who's taking advantage. He has a man crush on the Raiders and Queen. I'm sure he does, bro. Easy money. Hefe in the chat. Boy, you guys better light it up for my boy James. I follow 32 teams. I never understand watching one team. Although I never rooted for the team that I see. Oh, somebody's loyal. Garbage MVP. Oh, geez. Hefe, come on, bro. You spend 99% of the Raiders chat because no other team exists. Devontae, Waller, Renfro, our stable of running backs is unstoppable. And look, that's what this offense creates, right? You're talking about probably the best trio in all of football. I mean, it's going to be really hard to dig into other NFL teams and really say, like, look, there's a trio out there that's really competing with the Raiders, maybe 3 other teams. That's about it. Let's just say it for what it is. And then you talk about the running back room. Look, I've said this time and time again that versatility has been so key this entire offseason. If I could wrap up this whole offseason with one word, it's versatility. Let's start up front with the offensive line. I mean, you got guys like Denzel Good. You have Alex Leatherwood, Andre James. You have a offensive line that's a little bit versatile, and they're trying to do a little bit different things. They're going to see what works best. And right now it's that power gap scheme. You go to the defensive line. You got a Max Crosby, a Chandler Jones, a Cleveland Farrell, a Malcolm Kuntz. You move inside to Bilal Nichols. You've got Jonathan Hankins, Neil Farrell, Matthew Butler. I mean, Neil Farrell, Jonathan Hankins are those run cloggers. Matthew Butler, Bilal Nichols, a little bit of that universal type of player that offers you some pass rush. You go to the linebacker room with the Denzel Perryman and Jayon Brown and Kenny Young and Divine Diablo. Like, you have such diversity. Go to the DB room. You've got Trayvon Mullen, who's been asked to play man and zone coverage. You got Rock Ya-Sin, Anthony Averett, Nate Hobbs, a guy that nobody talks about, Cravon LeBlanc. I think that he's a good piece. Look, all these guys are really solid tacklers. When you go watch their film, they get aggressive in the run game. They're sure tacklers, and they excel in man-to-man coverage. That back end, you got Jonathan that can come down and play in the box. You got Trayvon Merrick up over the top, who I call him the magic eraser. That dude is always cleaning up open field tackles. You've got a Deron Harmon. I mean, you got Tyree Gillespie. Look at the wide receiver room. Devontae and Hunter and Waller and Robinson and Keelan Cole. And, bro, you just go down the line. A Tyron Johnson, a Mac Hollins. Go to the running back room. Josh, Drake, Zeus, Bolden. I mean, look, this whole offseason is literally classified and summarized in one word, and it's versatility. I love it because we can adapt on the fly each and every single week. I absolutely love it. I need to get back to addressing these chat. You guys are going wild, man. Subscriber 141. I love that everybody on this knows what subscriber they were. I love that. Ruben Ortega, what is good, bro? That is my guy. I can't wait till the Raiders curb stomp KC week 5. Oh my gosh, bro. Y'all just handle that beef. I'm going to address the other comments. But what do you think about Crosby, Klee, Sue, Jones? The only thing that I would switch out of that entire lineup, bro, is Klee. Klee's going to be situational, and he's not going to be asked to do as much as what he did in years past. I know he's getting paid more. In my opinion, I love all that, and I would switch Klee with Bilal Nichols. Bilal Nichols offers you 5 to 6 sacks a season on the interior defensive line. I mean, that's something that the Raiders have been missing for sure. So, look, Crosby, Bilal Nichols, Ndamukong Suh, Jones, you're talking about one of the best fronts in all of football. Then you want to talk about the front seven with the all-pro linebacker and Denzel Perryman, who excels in the run game. You got a Divine Diablo, a Jayon Brown, both two really good cover guys. You got a Kenny Young who brings some swagger, juice, some pass coverage. Look, you're talking about a front seven that is among the top in the National Football League. Let's just be honest. I can sum it up in 2 words: dominance dynasty. AOG, bro, we're moving towards it. Ziegler's building a dynasty and building to win now. Exactly. Look, he's wanting to win now, but the foundation is there. These young players, especially that 2020-21 draft. You got Alex Leatherwood in the first. And I know that everybody's like, man, why did you go get Alex Leatherwood in the first? And the only reason why they took a Leatherwood over Trayvon Merrick is Trayvon Merrick is a safety. And if Alex Leatherwood was to pan out, they want that 5th-year option because the market for the right tackle position is inflated much above the safety market. So they're really taking a gamble that, look, if Alex Leatherwood is a hit, we have that 5th-year option. And so typically you want to take that lineman in the first round. And because I hear that narrative all the time, well, if they would have just flipped the picks, it don't matter. They got them where they got them, whether it be in the first or the second round. So, yeah, you got Alex Leatherwood, you got Trayvon Merrick, you go get a Malcolm Kuntz, you go get a Divine Diablo, a Nate Hobbs, a Tyree Gillespie, a Jimmy Morrissey, who's a 7th-round draft pick, who's now starting for the Texans. I mean, that was a solid foundational draft that I think looking back, we're going to be like, yeah, they absolutely knocked that draft out of the park. One of the things I love about this new regime is that we'll no longer be predictable like the last regime. Yeah, look, when us as the fan base can sit on the couch and we're like calling and choosing plays before the plays even snapped, and we know Josh Jacobs is going to get the ball or it's going to be a check down to the fullback or whatever it may be, a little hook route to Hunter Renfro, something's got to change. And Josh McDaniels is going to bring that for sure. I love that. I love that, James. Facts, Ray. Don't forget about Abrams in the box. Yeah, I addressed that. Abrams is going to come down to the box. He's going to be that line of scrimmage type of back and I want him to deploy him more. You know what I mean? I want to see Jonathan Abram get after the quarterback more. And I think that Patrick Graham is a lot more aggressive as a defensive coordinator. And I think that he's going to really let Jonathan Abram get involved behind the line of scrimmage more, whether it be in the run game, check downs to running backs, or getting after the quarterback. I got to address this. Halo, you should pray for a quarterback. Hefe, you should pray for some content creators. I'm stoked Antonio Pierce is our linebackers coach. For real. Yeah, he brings a lot to the table. He offers you a lot. So, yeah, man, it's just an exciting offseason, right? It's exciting because this team is seriously built to win now, but it's built in a multitude of ways, and I'm really, really excited. Look, I've got videos lined up. The other night, you guys, I was up till about 2 a.m. My wife is like, where are you? And, dude, I was just in here creating content. So you can look for almost every single day this week. Something's going to drop, and then I'm going to be going live in between all that. So it's going to be fun. This is so ridiculous. Garbage is the worst QB in the West. Bro, chill out. No, he's not. Hefe, bro, you're going to see, bro, when he puts up 35-plus touchdowns and goes over 5,000 yards, you're going to see he's not going to be the worst, bro. Everybody's hyping up Herbert. Everybody. Who beat him in Week 17 when the game was on the line? And a completely destroyed, injury-plagued Raiders team went in there and beat Justin Herbert. Patrick Mahomes has had probably the best coaching staff in the division. He's been blessed with a head coach who knows how to go get good players and put them in good positions. You got a Russell Wilson who, look, he starts off hot every single year. The dude is like, everybody's talking about him. First 5 weeks, MVP conversation. Once the midseason hits and thereafter, bro, if his team isn't healthy around him, he's not the same player. So I don't know why you're hyping up a guy like Russell Wilson that much. Look, Derek Carr is going to get it done. Russell Wilson wouldn't have taken the Raiders offense to the playoffs last year, and I'm keeping it a buck. Not with Zay Jones as pretty much your primary number one, not with the Foster Moreau as your primary number one. I don't see it. Derek Carr did some phenomenal things last year. I would love to see Abrams as our blitz spy specialist. Keep him playing downhill and he'll shine. Look, that's where they need to get him utilized, right? He needs to get involved behind on the line of scrimmage. They got to deploy Jonathan Abram a little bit more. And look, he put him where he excels. He excels blowing up the plays behind the line of scrimmage, sniffing out screen plays, checking down to the running back, getting his head down in the run game, and getting after the quarterback. What's going on, Queen? I appreciate you pulling up to the chat. You better be careful, man. Hefe's in here. That boy's got a crush on you. So y'all better chill out. We'll keep you protected though. You're all good. Yoshi, salute. What's going on, Yoshi? Oh my gosh, Hefe, bro, you are wild. Carr never won anything. Come on, stop. Oh my gosh, bro. Who has he had, bro? Who has he had? This is the first year you can actually say Carr's had real weapons outside of Michael Crabtree and Amari Cooper. And in that 2016 year, he was having an MVP type of season. And then he breaks his leg in week 17. Look, the Raiders probably would have made a deep playoff push and pursued a Super Bowl that season. That's how good they were. So, bro, you're talking reckless, bro. You are talking reckless. Russ has had a reoccurring yearly nightmare named Chandler. And thankfully enough, he's wearing a silver and black. Raiders own the donkeys. I'm not afraid of – everybody's always like, oh, Denver's got a good defense. Denver's got a good defense. Bro, all the time people say that. All the time, every year, people say the Chargers are going to be the team to beat, and they're not. Every single year, the Chargers find a way to be a Charger, and they blow it. Same with the Donkeys, bro. Everybody's like, oh, they just need a quarterback. That's all they need. And every single year, what do we see? Their defense doesn't end up being quite as good as what you once thought. Even the wide receivers, bro, like, yeah, they got some talented guys, but, dude, I'm not that high. Look, it's going to be – and then the Chiefs, they didn't get any better. You guys did not get better. The Chiefs did not get better. This division has balanced out. I'm not worried about it. What's unbelievable is always in the Raider content creator check. I think he's got a crush on me. I know he does, bro, because KC's not as loyal as these fans are. He wishes KC had a system like we got, right? Facts, James. All KC and AFC West coaches are stable. Look, the Raiders have taken the brunt of everything negative, and it's finally exciting to see it change because, bro, I'm telling you, we're going to put our foot on some of these teams' throats in the AFC West. Chandler's going to be holding Sacking Russ training classes. Oh, he already knows about it. Yep. Shout out to Queen, everybody. Give her a shout out. Show her some love. I don't expect our 2 rookie DTs to have a huge impact this year, but I definitely see them contributing in a big way. Definitely would love to get a Sue for that veteran presence. Look, I would love to go get Sue. And to regard on the 2 rookie defensive tackles, look, I'm at this position. And throw stones if you guys want to throw stones. But look, Jonathan Hankins is 30 years old, and he's very one-dimensional. He's coming off a surgery. Wasn't a major surgery, but he's very one-dimensional. He gave you 20 solo sacks last year, 46.9 grade. I know before everybody says it, PFF is not the end-all, be-all. I don't even believe in PFF all that much. A few things here and there I take from it. But look, when I drop that number, it's just to say that he only offers you so much. And look, a Neil Farrell Jr. is bigger, younger, and faster than Jonathan Hankins. He was the number 1 graded defensive tackle in the country in run defense last year. He is Jonathan Hankins, but younger, healthier, bigger, and he offers you more when it comes to pass rush. This guy had 9.5 tackles for loss last year, which tells me he's really disruptive behind the line of scrimmage. So of the rookie DTs, I want to see Neil Farrell come to camp, work, and make Jonathan Hankins earn that spot because I'd rather go with this young kid and use Jonathan Hankins situationally. That's just where I'm at. As far as Matthew Butler, look, he'll probably be backing up Bilal Nichols' spot, if I'm being completely honest with you. Let's see. Man, I got a lot to get into. How do I kick myself out of a stream, bro? All right, here we go. Hefe, who's your starting running back? He does Halo LO Ray put Hefe on blast. Look, you just got to drop facts a little bit. Queen, Halo. Yeah, everybody shout out to Halo, man. That's my boy. Hefe already knows what's coming and he's scared. Did I miss something? Let me think. What did you miss? You've missed that Hefe is just talking reckless. And everybody's saying how Hefe's got a crush on you. So just watch that boy. He's got that KC syndrome, bro. We've swept the Donkeys 2 years in a row, and it will be 3. Russell thought he got away. Yeah, he's like, finally, I'm away. Here comes Chandler Jones. Who gets more touches and opportunities at running back, Drake or White? Personally, I think Kenyon Drake is a really good fit. Now, look, it depends on how his rehab and his injury situation comes. It's a pretty nasty injury to come back from. So, look, early on in the season, I could see quite a bit of Zeus. But what's really interesting is, like I was saying earlier about the word versatility, look at how these running backs are structured here, Ruben. You've got Josh Jacobs and Zeus, who are these power back style runners. Then you got Kenyon Drake and Brandon Bolton, who are really like those receiving multi-purpose type of backs, those kind of like scat backs a little bit. And then you get a guy like Amir Abdullah. This is a guy who I think is really going to earn an opportunity, maybe not for the Raiders essentially, but preseason, a guy like Amir Abdullah, who played, I believe, for the Vikings last year, and he really kind of showed out for them. And Vikings fans didn't want to get rid of him. Whatever team it was, I'm pretty positive it was the Vikings. Didn't want to get rid of the guy. He really stepped up for them. He's actually a really good running back. And in the preseason, I see Amir Abdullah kind of tearing it up, and I think he could go earn a roster spot on another team. To answer your question, overall, by the end of the season, I would have to probably say Drake. I think he's just going to be more utilized in this offense. But look, Zamir White, Zeus is going to get a few opportunities. I think his opportunities are going to more come in the red zone, if I'm being honest. Russ has a cannon arm that will be scary and mile high, but that's not all they need to win, bro. Dude, a big arm doesn't always win everything. You know what I mean? It's can post mid-season, can that guy put it together consistently? Can he stay healthy? We've seen that in times recent. Like I said, he starts off hot. When his team starts getting a little bit beat up, man, he starts to change up a little bit. And it's not like he has this really good offensive line out in Denver. Let's just be honest. The Donkeys defense scares me, at least in the division. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, bro. I'm not worried about it. Look at Derek Carr. Every time even when they had Von Miller and Chubb, all these years where they said, "Oh, I'm scared of the Denver Broncos defense," I was never really that scared. They never really did anything drastic to the Raiders that makes me scared of them. And the talent that they have now, I'm not all that worried about it. Yeah, did they go get good players? They went and got good football players. But so did we. And you got to match that. You got to be able to match. I'm not worried about what defenses they got. They need to worry about the offense that we got. We got Devontae. We got Hunter. We got Darren Waller. We got the running backs. They need to be worried about us. I'm not worried about them. They got to cover every single inch of the field, so they better have a good defense. Shout out to Queen. She's still in the building. Chandler Jones legit leads the NFL all-time sacking Russell Wilson. Yeah, and it's not going to stop. Like, that's something that's going to stay consistent. You know what I mean? From here on out. Chandler Jones is 30 years old. Who cares, bro? You act like 30 years old is 30 years old of 20 years ago. You're talking about the world premier athletes, the top athletes in the world that take care of their body. 30 years old, you're in your prime of your career. Now, if he was 33, 34 years old, yeah, I'd be like, okay, yeah, he's over the hill. He's entering that prime. He's not suffered with severe enough injuries. He's still putting up double-digit sack seasons. I'm not worried about 30 years old at all. She's going to play a defense on your team. It doesn't matter. Exactly. Your guys' defense ain't that good, bro. Adams is 30 years old. Again, like I said, you're talking about the best weapon in all of football. How old was Tim Brown, Hefe? How old was Jerry Rice, Hefe? How old was Randy Moss, Hefe? You're talking about this upper end of type of wide receiver. This guy has a lot of football left. He is the best. He had 1,500 yards last year, Hefe, and gonna be turning 30 years old. Come on, bro. 30 years old does not mean anything. I did. Bro, OG, I clicked the wrong button, bro. I'm kicking myself out of here. Ruben says, I think Drake too. Yeah, bro, he just offers you quite a bit. You know what I mean? Hefe, you guys have no depth. You guys are the worst team in the division. Bro, I won't know. I say this. They've got one of the better coaching staffs in the division. So that's why I still think Kansas City will be good. Because Andy Reid finds a way to put players in good situations. But when it comes to defensive side of the football, especially losing Honey Badger, bro, I'm not worried about the Chiefs. The Chiefs do not scare me. Ladarius Sneed is not going to guard Devontae. Even if you want to talk about Ladarius Sneed, who else do you got? You went out and got like 10 defensive backs, none of which I'm worried about. Bro, I'm just only going to speak facts, bro. Worst coaching staff is the Chargers. I'd probably say the worst coaching staff is the Denver Broncos. I probably got it, honestly, if I'm rating it, because, look, Josh McDaniels, I think he's going to be – they're probably going to have one of the best coaching staffs in the division. I respect Andy Reid because of what he's done. He's already shown it to me, so I know that he can do it. So at number one, I probably put Andy Reid right now. Raider fans, don't kill me. Number two, Josh McDaniels, Patrick Graham coming in here, Dave Ziegler, Champ Kelly. Love what we got moving on. We got to really earn it. Look, I'm always the type, man. We got to go earn it and go prove it. Number three, I put the Chargers. They got a young head coach. Look, he's ballsy. He believed in his team. He believed in his young superstar quarterback and the weapons that they have, which is why you've seen them get so aggressive on fourth down. They want to go put up points. And look, it came to bite them in the butt. They made terrible decisions. 4th and 30, and you're going to go for it? Bro. So, yeah, I put the Chargers there. And then Denver. Denver's coaching staff has proven absolutely nothing. I'm not blown away by their coaching staff at all. So, look, Denver Broncos, even if they go get a Russell Wilson, everything's got to work. This isn't just – you always say it's a quarterback away, right? Well, when you go get a good quarterback, now everything else, all the fine details, it's like you went and you got a high-end car, but the motor's knocking. You know what I mean? The transmission is slipping a little bit. That offensive line is a little bit beat up. Your running game isn't scaring nobody. And your defense, who knows, right? Who knows when you're going up against an offense as explosive as ours, are you going to be able to keep up? So, look, it's interesting, right? Ray, who do you think that the top 2 offseason signings this season are? Ziegler, McDaniels, or Graham? Oh, without a doubt, Ziegler and McDaniels. Not even close. Look, Patrick Graham's getting a lot of hype, right? And I like Patrick Graham. I like the style. I love his aggression. I love his versatility. I like what he does with the back end guys. He really makes the DB rooms learn a lot. They have to be versatile. They got to be able to interchange and do a lot of stuff. I love his creativity when it comes to blitzing. But Patrick Graham isn't this end-all, be-all type of defensive coordinator. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say he's going to be the best defensive coordinator in football. But look, if we can get up towards that 12 range and in that 12 range that actually causes turnovers, if we can be kind of like that 2016 season where, look, it's not the best defense, but they're opportunistic when it comes to turnovers, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to see, Patrick, can you go get the ball back for this offense? That's what we really need. You know, last year we were able to keep teams relatively low in scoring. I mean, we lost by 1 possession to the team that went to the Super Bowl with a ton of backup players, a ton of them. So we were able to keep points down, but we were just never opportunistic to go get turnovers. And that's what the problem's been. I want Patrick Graham's defense to go get turnovers. So, look, my opinion, Josh McDaniels, Dave Ziegler alone, and I think Champ Kelly needs to be thrown in that list as well. The ability that they've brought in and all the scouts, these are people that go unknown. These are the guys that are never going to get the praise. But on this channel where we eat things up and we really look at it for what it is, we're going to give love to the scouts that Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler brought in and their eye for talent. Look, the Patriots organizations have done fantastic with these late round additions, which is why this year I'm so focused on these undrafted free agents, because I've seen it in times past when the Patriots will go and build a roster based off of late round draft picks and undrafted free agents. And that's why my eyes are set so heavy on this undrafted free agent class, because they really went out and got good football players. So, man, I got to say, Champ Kelly, Dave Ziegler, Josh McDaniels, hands down the best ones. Adam's skills as release route running is going to keep him in top 5 for years. Of course, he doesn't have to rely just on a 4.3 type of speed. He doesn't have that speed, but what he has can transition to a longevity, a successful career long term. You're talking about an extremely good route runner. You're talking about a guy who understands the game and knows what DBs are going to do before the game starts. He knows you front and back. He knows which way your hair is combed over. He knows what scent cologne you're wearing. Davante Adams is a true dog. Our speed is speed. Facts, Snoop. Yes, OG, I am. I'm actually going to wrap it up, and I'm going to open up the stream and let people on. There is somebody in the chat that I did say he could come on for a little bit. He hit me up on Instagram. He's a new content creator trying to get involved a little bit. He's actually right here, Rivals of the West. And yeah, Rivals, I'm going to have you on for a minute, man, introduce you to the people and hopefully send people over to your channel. And then I'm going to welcome on OG. I'm going to welcome on Jack and anybody else. All these people that show up faithfully every week, I want to see you guys pull up. I want to interact with you. Don't hesitate, man. Don't be shy. Don't be nothing. Get away for a second. Come on here, even if it's 5 minutes, man, and let's just talk some football. Let me see here. If the coaching staff does nothing else but eliminate our penalties, we pick up 2 to 3 wins. 100% facts. But look, even if the coaching staff does a phenomenal job at teaching these guys about penalties, if the refs want to get involved in these games, the ref will get involved in these games. We see it all the time. The NFL needs to do something about the coaching or the referee situation, because, dude, really, they can control any outcome of any game. They can call anything they want. And I see it all the time as a Raider fan. I see calls that are just absolutely ridiculous. So, bro, Renfro wanting those one-on-ones. Of course, facts. Of course he is. Renfro can get 700 to 800 yards easily this year. I agree. Look, and especially when you're talking about a Davante is going to get over 100 targets easy. This is a guy that's probably going to get 1,300 yards his first year as a Raider. Then you got a Darren Waller, who I honestly think is going to get 1,000 yards. I really do. If he can stay healthy, Darren Waller will hit 1,000 yards. He's going to be moved all over the place. And then Hunter Renfro coming in, look, a slot wide receiver. You have a potential 700-800 yards easily. I agree 100%. You have a real opportunity to have 3 1,000-yard options this year. Depending on how pass-heavy this offense wants to go and spread guys out, there's going to be times where teams are going to focus primarily on Davante and Waller because they don't want it, and they're going to force Hunter to win the game. Something I don't think you want to do. I think he'll just chew up the middle of the field. Everything sub 20 yards, those 15-yard comebacks, those 10 yards, the slants, the crossing routes. Look, Hunter Renfro is going to eat zone defenses alive, which is why teams like Kansas City, the Chargers, bro, the Broncos, they're going to have a big problem covering the Raiders. Adams and Renfro and McDaniels is going to be filthy alone. Add Waller and Jake. Exactly, James. That's what I'm trying to say. People don't understand. Oh, my gosh. I'm not even going to read Hefe. All right, so what I'm going to do right now, you guys, is I'm going to open up the line. We've had some good dialogue, some good talk in the chat. So I'm going to open up the line. So let's see. Rivals of the West, if you want to come on, bro, I'm going to have you on for probably 10, 15 minutes, introduce you, talk a little bit of Raiders football, and finally get to meet you face to face. And then I'm going to bring on a few other guys so they can also get some time in. So, yeah, Rivals of the West, I'm going to get ready to drop it. And then once I get done with Rivals of the West and I bring on OG and hopefully Jack, anybody in the chat, I'm telling you, hop on because I want to talk to you guys. So let me just do this real quick. Cool. And look, moderators. I've got a lot of moderators in the building that should be here today. If you guys want to be a moderator, let me know. Just in case there's shows that those guys can't pull up and watch, I want to make sure that you guys are there. So look, if anybody's willing to be a moderator and a legit moderator, look, we ain't playing no games around here. If you want to be a moderator, let me know. Okay, so Rivals of the West, check in the chat. The StreamYard link is there. Once you're in the background, I will welcome you in and introduce you, and we'll start talking, brother. I'm telling you what, man, we got some good content coming your way, man. I've really been putting in a lot of work, and the support from Raider Nation is absolutely unbelievable. You guys are just – the more you guys just are giving me positive feedback, great content, keep the work up, bro. It just fires me up to just keep pushing and to give you guys takes that you're not hearing everywhere else. You know what I mean? That's why I didn't make the Hunter Renfro extension video because, look, there's 100 videos out about it. But, look, I'm going to drop content about how Foster Moreau can help with red zone efficiency. I'm going to talk about how Bam is going to compete for a backup right tackle spot. I'm going to talk about Denzel Good. I'm going to talk about all these players that nobody's really putting the spotlight on, so to say. I'm going to wait in the studio. Okay, OG. That's all good. I'll let you know. I'll be on so I can put Hefe on timeout every time he says something. All right, bro. Yeah, I'm going to make you a moderator. I like to take it easy on Hefe. I want to give him an opportunity to speak, but sometimes, bro, Hefe, you got to chill out, bro. You got to chill out. You're always welcome here, but chill out. All right, so you guys, without further ado, I've got a new content creator behind the scenes. I haven't got to talk to him that much. He reached out to me on Instagram, and look, OG gave me a shot, and I'm willing to give other people a voice and an opportunity to speak and kind of put some of these guys before the nation. And if you guys want, man, go over there and subscribe to his channel. Support this guy. So without further ado, you guys, we have Rivals of the West, and everybody welcome him to the show here. What's going on, Rivals? What's up?
Good, man. Man, it's crazy that I have to go on like every platform and talk about how the Raiders offense is somehow seemingly one of the more underrated offenses because people don't know what they talk about.
Yeah, and nobody realizes what they built, right? Like,
y'all really tell me, right? The shit I hear about him, right? Oh, it's a one-season thing. You know, why would you give him $16 million? Actually, go read the fucking contract, moron. We'll talk about it, right? Looking more into it, wasn't $16 million guaranteed both seasons. This was not a fully guaranteed contract. It was 21 was guaranteed. But, again, it was a great contract. I liked what I saw from him this past year, and I think he's only going to improve. Having, dude, he has Devontae Adams and Darren Waller on this roster. It's going to open up things for him, and especially even without Devontae, like his season was going to be good regardless because the system that we have, people also don't realize, it works well with slot receivers.
Yeah, especially with Josh McDaniels, even more so than what last year. And you see, look, this is my personal take. I don't think Hunter Renfro's the guy that you want to see get 110 catches. I believe that a lot of things went wrong for the Raiders offense last year, which is why you've seen Renfro's numbers inflate that much. But that's good. I mean, he stepped up and he did his job. He hit that 1,000-yard mark. And look, if he's going to get the money he's going to get, what is Darren Waller going to get? You know what I mean? This guy's a guy who deserves quite a bit of money. And not only that, look at the position that these other wide receivers are in. I'm talking the Keelan Coles. I'm talking the Tyron Johnsons, the DeMarcus Robinsons, the Mac Hollins. With all the attention when it comes to coverage going to guys like Devontae and Waller and Renfro, really, if one of these guys, one of these four can emerge, right? Look at what Derek Carr has done in times past. I mean, you go back in recent history.
Zay Jones look good.
Zay Jones. You can go back.
Better, bro. He made Michael Crabtree better. People don't realize the moment that these guys leave their quarterbacks, they look like shit.
Yeah,
they do.
Then you come to Derek Carr, who does a great job at spreading the football around. And like I said, one of those four guys, a Keelan Cole, a Tyron Johnson, like, look, one of them, look what he did for Nelson Aguilar. Goes and signs a huge contract with the Patriots.
I think Keelan Cole is going to be the Nelson Aguilar. that we're not.
That's your pick? Yeah. Okay. So Tyron Johnson and Keelan Cole were my two selections. Tyron Johnson, just because, look, he's got that 4.32 speed. When you look at what he did with the Chargers, when the Chargers had some established weapons and they used him as a field stretcher, you're talking a good season for him is 450 yards with 4 touchdowns. And I'll take that. I'll take that in this offense all day. If Tyron Johnson can be that 4.32.
I mean, I don't think Devontae is going to be like what he was with the target share. Like that was 167 targets to get to 1,500. He's going to reach 1,500 with Devontae and like 110 catches.
Yeah, I think he's going to get definitely over the 100. You know what I mean?
He's going to reach over 100, but he's not going to have to get 150 targets.
I think, honestly, if he could hit that 12 to 1,300 yard mark and hit that 10 touchdown range, and you let Darren Waller go in there and get 1,000 yards and let Hunter Renfro destroy these defenses underneath, because that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to eat apart this middle of the field. So moving from the offensive side of the football, what are you thinking about this defense?
I explained it in the post I had made this morning. I do have Rivals of the West Instagram. If you want to follow me on Instagram at all, Raiders_updater 2022. That's where you can find me. But, again, the Insta, come follow over there if you haven't. But the defense, when I talked about it this morning, and the defense I talked about yet last night on my stream, right? This defense is going to improve. This front seven is going to improve. And the only way that happens is if that blitz percentage goes up to like in the 20s. I want to see it in the 30s, 20s, 30s, right? I want to see more blitzes because you're going to see more sacks out of Chandler, by law. You're going to see. I really hope we get Ndamukong Suh. I said that last night. I think he completes the front four if you get him, because you have Ndamukong and him together with the two. You have a veteran in Chandler Jones next to an up and coming star who I believe is probably top 5, 7 in the edge rusher right now. Our screen game will be nasty this year.
Yeah, look, I think the running backs are going to be utilized a lot. Look, if Josh McDaniels wants, I know that he coming from that Patriots system where they do like to run the football a lot, right? They like the power gap scheme. But this offense is built to literally attack you in each and every way. We got 2 power back runners that can take it between the tackles. You've got the receiving backs and Kenyon Drakes and Brandon Bolden's. Any way you want to attack these teams, you've got 2 elite route runners. You got a tight end that is a former wide receiver who can flex out and play multiple positions. I mean, this offense is designed to win in any multitude of amount of ways that you want.
I just find because, Hunter Renfro, you don't even have to give him a specific route. Tell him to run whatever the fuck he wants to run. He's gonna win that matchup. If he's going with one of those nasty routes, dude, go ask fucking Xavier Howard, Darius Slay. Ask them how that went when they guarded the best of the best.
What's going on, Roasted Raider? I appreciate you pulling up to the chat, brother. Yoshi, what is good? I'm just gonna address these comments real quick, Rival.
Yep.
And then let's see. Graham is going to confuse most offenses with even more pressure with Chandler Jones. And look, with Chandler Jones and Patrick Graham, it's going to be a unique matchup, right? Because Patrick Graham loves to do a lot of multiple things. Now, look, Chandler Jones has played that outside linebacker role. So if you want to slide a guy like Malcolm Kuntz in at defensive end and have Kuntz and Crosby and have Chandler Jones lined up as a linebacker coming off the edge, you could put him on the same side as Max. You can put him on the same side as Malcolm Kuntz. And really you could have a 3-headed monster. And not to mention, you got Bilal Nichols, who's averaging you 5 to 6 sacks a season. If you can go get an Ndamukong Suh, you're talking about one of the best fronts in all of football. It's going to be hard to find another team that has a better front than the Raiders. And I'm so happy to finally say that. It's been a long time coming, but Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler has really done their thing this offseason.
It's not even just the fact that he's going to have more pressure. It's the fact that he's not one of those defensive coordinators that have 2 systems. This guy has 5 at least different systems he's going to run with this team. There's so many different multitudes of lineups you can see from this team. Again, we don't know, but Kuntz is going to have a great year. Bilal is going to improve on what he did last year, but he's a run stopper. I like that. The 4 guys that we have in Jonathan Abram, Bilal, Jonathan Hankins, and Denzel Perryman. Those are run stoppers. If you keep them on the field consistently, and if Moreau can just cover anything, if you can cover a brick wall not moving, you're fine. Yes, more screens, please. They always buy me why. I mean, here's the thing. when we were 3-0, like I Hunter eats in the bunch form, bunch of them. Yeah, it's good. We'll see how that goes, but like the fact is, like this defense is so many different ways you can run it, and there's not really like we don't. I mean, like, dude, if Abram can just cover, dude, any type of coverage, any better than what you did last year, and if
Well, I
we
kind
can,
of addressed it earlier, bro. I think putting him down in that box and when I was breaking down his film, he really does a good job of blowing up the screenplays. He sniffs out runs really well. An
yeah,
underutilized aspect in his game that Gus Bradley, he did it a few times, but like you were saying earlier, the blitzes percentages were so far down. Unlock that part of his game and let Abram get after quarterbacks a little bit more. He's
I mean,
extremely.
and when we it's just we're gonna see what this defense can do. We should be better run stopping wise. Right, it was a huge pickup.
Yeah, no, I agree. So look, everybody in the chat, man, if you're not subscribed to Rivals of the West, I recommend you go over to his channel, go check out his IG. If that's something you guys are interested in, go support him. Go support some Raider content creators. The nation is among the best in all of the world when it comes to fan bases. So Rival, I'm glad that you came on the show and just kind of get your face out here a little bit and keep putting in that work, brother, and it'll pay off. So thank you for coming on the show, and we'll be talking soon, all right?
Yep. See you.
Yep. All right, so I'm going to address these chats, and then I'm going to bring in OG to talk for a minute. I hope to see more Kuntz and Gillespie this year on defense. You're going to see a lot more Kuntz. Gillespie, someone I would really like to see. There was times when he got down in the box a little bit. You know what's really unique about this defensive back room is they all can tackle. Cravon LeBlanc, nasty when it comes down into the box and into the run game. Nate Hobbs, probably one of the best cover corners to be able to come down and get nasty in the run game. You're talking about a Rocky Sin and an Anthony Avery, two guys who are established tacklers. This is a back half of the defense that knows how to tackle, and they're really aggressive when it comes to stopping the run. I love what they're kind of building, man. They're really going press heavy. It's really bold. It's bold of Patrick Graham to really go get these man heavy type of guys because look, running all man systems and nowadays modern NFL, it's a tough task. It's really hard to do. So I'm really looking to see how that pays off. Facts, bro. Graham changes the defense week to week depending. Yeah. 3-4, 4-3, 75% of the time you're going to be in the nickel formation anyways. So, yeah, we're not established to one role. And I love that he's come out and just said that. Matt Marinovich, Abram will be used more as a box safety linebacker in the run game. Yeah, and that's where he should be. That's where he should be. 20 in the chat, only 5 likes. Smash them likes. Yeah, everybody hit them likes. Look, if there's 20 people in the chat, we should have 21. It takes 1 second, y'all. If you guys support this channel and love interacting with Raider Nation, go hit those likes real quick, bro. I never ask anything from you guys, so please go bring those likes up. Let people find this channel more. You know what I mean? It's only going to make this experience that much better with everybody. So before everybody even says another thing, man, go hit that like button. Go support this channel. Cleaver will be used more against the run game. For sure. He's going to get clogged in. He's going to move inside, outside. Yeah. Snoop Hernandez, tackling and speed, for sure, without a doubt. And I'm glad you see that too, Snoop. It's these back half DBs are extremely good at tackling. Something that I was watching film today, and I was just Cravon LeBlanc, he's slept on. Everybody's talking about they want a DB. Look, go watch Cravon LeBlanc. This is a guy Philly didn't want to get rid of. This is a guy who offers quite a bit. He's nasty, plays with some swagger. He's slowly growing on me. I'm not going to lie. So look, Chad, without further ado, I'm going to welcome in OG Chronicles, my brother. And he's going to welcome him to the channel. So without further ado, everybody, welcome OG.
Hey, brother.
How you doing?
Hey, man, here's the thing. You find a content creator, and if you get addicted to their content and you show them to the rest of the world who hasn't seen them yet, you're just doing the Raider Nation a favor. You're not you talk about, you said that you're giving me more credit than I deserve, bro. Your content's addictive. I just introduced you. Your content has got you up there, bro. Okay. You're one of my favorite content creators. I told you that. You're my favorite content creator. I watch every one of your things, and that's why I wanted to introduce you. But now you have a bigger audience than me, and that's awesome. I expected that. But, dude, this season, I said it at the end of this past season. I'm saying it again. dynasty. We're building a dynasty, a better, greater dynasty than we've ever had. Okay. Guys, if you're hit that like button. If you don't hit that like button, I swear to God, I'll call you tomorrow and start talking about your auto's extended warranty. Do not mess with me on this. Hit
James,
the like.
you said Klee will thrive in this defense. He might not get 10 sacks, but he will make an impact in the run game. And I agree. He's not going to get 10 sacks. But look, if he can come in, if Klee could have a 4 to 5 sack season, that's huge for him. That's personal growth. So
and stopping the run, just like Jonathan Abrams. Abrams good at blowing up running plays. Like leave him in the box, let him blow up them running plays. He's good,
especially with his hand not in the dirt anymore, and him standing up on the outside behind a guy like Chandler, and really hone in, and getting into those gaps and playing run heavy type of style. Klee is. I think Klee is going to shock a lot of people. I'm not going to say he's going to be an all-pro superstar type of guy, but
look at that chat, Matt Marinovich. Hey, how you doing?
I was going to say that while you were talking. I just didn't want to cut you off. I was literally going to use this quote when you were talking about.
I love that quote.
Yeah, when you're like, oh, you give me too much credit and everything, and your audience has gotten bigger than mine. Look, high tide raises.
I knew that. I told you it was going to happen at the beginning. Did I not?
No, you did.
I told you we're going to the AFC Championship this year too. Watch. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty good at that prediction.
About that, bro. I don't care if my platform gets whatever point it gets. You know what I mean?
You're always going to be my brother. Platform blows up huge. Raider Nation deserves to hear your words and your in-depth analysis of this game. And that's why I got addicted to your channel and said, oh my God, I got to introduce this guy. I'm going to be number 141 subscribers. You had 140 subscribers. I subscribed and I messaged you. I'm like,
we've come a long way in a short amount of time, brother. We really have.
Yeah, but dude, your content's that great. That's why I love it. It's impressive, and you don't. I haven't watched one of your videos where I went, I've watched every one of them. Whoa, that's good. That makes sense. You got a great in-depth analysis, and that's why you're my favorite content creator. I wish I could do what you do. Instead, I'm just a crazy old drunk uncle who makes foul jokes that the family can't handle and does my history show. And that's fine by me. I'm happy with that. No, but brother, dude, your content is fire.
Hey, we balance each other out great. So that's what it's about.
Yeah, you're still gonna have a show with me once a week, right?
Oh yeah, we're gonna get it.
I know you're gonna. You had some announcements you said you were gonna make. I'm like waiting to hear this stuff.
Yeah. Return of 16, 12, and 5 with a better defense. Yeah, and I think we're going to have a better year than 16. I think 16 was, I don't want to say a flash in the pan a little bit, but, dude, they caught momentum and they caught.
We're going to be better than we're going to be better than 16, bro. I'm looking at 1981, bro, and beyond.
Thanks for the content, Ray. I got to bounce out and do daddy stuff. I'll catch the replay. Hey, shout out to you, brother. Go take care of them babies, boy. That's what this is all about.
It's funny. I was watching a video today my wife shared with me, old memory from 6 years ago, where I was teaching my daughter how to use chopsticks, and I was like, "Oh, I got to do daddy stuff. Daddy stuff is the best." It is Georgia Patriot. Daddy stuff is the best.
Yeah, Georgia Patriot. Ray, I would love to see you and Andy break down film together. Andy and I have had like small conversations. We haven't been in, like talking direct messaging type of setting stuff up, but we've been interacting in chats and we've been interacting like on stories. We're now following each other and commenting on each other's stuff on social media. So look, before long, like I'm going to be talking to Pharoah. Some news. If I get some free time Tuesday, if I can get off working time, I'm busy running a business, but if I get free time Tuesday, Spotlight Sports Talk wants to have me on and introduce me to his channel and just talk a few things Raiders. So I'm just going to get on there and address and have a conversation with him. So potentially Tuesday, you guys can head over to Spotlight Sports channel with Darren and subscribe to his channel and see me over there. We're really going to start getting involved, man. We're just going to talk to people. That's what this is about. It's about the Shield and it's about the Raider Nation. It's not about. Go ahead.
Do me a favor. You're going to do a chop it up after the show.
Yeah, you're going to have to show me when I end the broadcast to keep you back in the background. We have to get that.
All I have to do is just stay, not kick myself out. Don't kick me. Not kick myself out. Just remove me from you hover over my picture and remove me, but it leaves me backstage. But I definitely want to have a chat with you.
We will. Sounds good.
Because I got some stuff I want to talk to you about. Important stuff.
Okay, sounds good. It was the Musgrave offense system that McDaniels will be recreating without DC Norton.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's I like that take, Matt. I really do.
And with Carr's photographic memory, no problem.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's not as – but this is what he does, dude. He gains confidence when he uses his legs. I think you're right. He does hesitate at times to use his legs. I see that when I watch his film. But when he uses them and he gets out of that box a little bit and stops worrying about everything that's happening on the field, and he just goes out there and plays football and gets creative with his legs a little bit, Carr is a little bit underrated of an athletic type of quarterback. He's not going to blow
you. Yeah, but you know what? In week 17, if we're up by a huge score and we're playing a team that doesn't have a chance to get into the playoffs, pull him in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the big mistake Jack Del Rio made. Should have pulled him in the fourth quarter because we were going to the Super Bowl that year.
Man, I'll be happy with just a 15 to 20 ring defense. The past 2 decades, defense got me traumatized. Yep, and that's all it's going to take. Hey, look, we do got another Raider content creator down waiting to come in, my brother Rafael. I just want to come and talk to him. This is my guy, man. This is somebody you guys should go show some support to. This guy has a great heart, man. He's a great kid. And
you should see the documentary that was made about him in his home country.
That is
there's
awesome.
English translation on the CC button. Great documentary was made about him.
I love that this kid pushes and perseveres, and regardless of what situations may be thrown at him in life, this kid is taking it heads on, and he's fighting it, man. And that's beautiful. That's beautiful to me. I love to see kids do that. So without any further ado, I want to welcome on my brother here to the live stream, Rafael. How you doing, brother?
I'm very good. I'm very good, Raider Ray. And of course, I just wanted to tell you that when I was doing an interview with the Raider Critique, there's one word to describe the 2022 season of Las Vegas Raiders: dominated. Because that's the word of today. We're gonna dominate it. Because right now we are more excited about this new regime of Dave Ziegler and Josh McDaniels, because right now there's no tomorrow, there's only today. And there's two dynamic duos that we crushed about the conference right here. Because all these teams right here are the AFC West, like Broncos, Chiefs, and Chargers. They are really scared about those duos that make like a perfect beast, just like Derek Carr with Devonta Adams, Max Crosby, and Chandler Jones. Because if you look at the stats right here, they're mind-blowing. And that's what I think about it, because the word dominated is because we're going to dominate this season right here.
Well, what's
yes.
Well, what's really cool is that
very good.
In times past, the Raiders really had to play up to the talent of the teams in their own division. We were always having to upplay Kansas City. We were always having to upplay San Diego or LA. We were always having to upplay the Denver Broncos and the scary defenses that they always had. Mm-hmm. But that's all changed now. All of that is changed.
The whole change.
The amount of weapons that the Raiders have brought in, now those teams need to worry about us. They're the ones that their defensive backs have to line up against, probably one of the best offenses in all of football. I mean, when you're talking about that trio between Adams, Renfro, Waller, you get a running game like Jacobs and Drake and Bolden and Zeus. Look, now you have to defend us. We're not really necessarily worried about you. That's what the confidence needs to be on this football team. Is you guys worry about us. We're not worried about you anymore. You're in our rear view at this point. You're chasing us, and you got to stop what we're doing. And that's what the kind of mentality we need to get back to as a Raiders organization.
What was the old coach of the UCLA team back when Kareem Abdul-Jabbar played there? Jerry West? Or no, Jerry – what was it? No. Woodard. Coach Woodard wrote a book. I read it years ago, and he said, don't stay up late wondering what these guys are going to do. Let them stay up late wondering what you're going to do.
Exactly.
And this is how it is. We are going to have defensive coordinators who are not going to sleep at night worried about what the hell to do against our offense. You can't – think of it this way. Whoever we got as wide receiver 2 is going to be taking on the fourth or fifth best cornerback they got, whoever he is, he's going to eat. He's going to be a no name. He's going to eat because they're going to try to figure out how to stop Devontae, stop Hunter, stop you. Okay, you can only double team so many guys. You're going to leave two other guys wide open.
And I got to say, shout out to the chat because we had only a few likes. I think we had 5 likes and 22 people watching. Every single person left the chat and they went and hit the like button. Shout out to the nation, bro. Shout out to all of you. You guys, that's what it's about, man. Every time
they were afraid I was going to call them about their extended auto warranty. I ain't playing.
We're about to sell you some insurance. I got you.
Yeah, I'm going to get you that new warranty.
Yep.
You're like, oh, shit, I don't want to hear from OG tomorrow.
And yeah, look, James, I'm just tired of it. You know what I mean? The time is now. We've been passive as Raider fans. We've always had to talk. We've always had to talk up to these teams in our division, knowing that we're going into a game that we probably should lose. You know what I mean? We are in the situation right now that kind of the Chiefs were in when they had Tyreek and Kelsey and all these weapons, right? And they knew going into every single game, you better show up to play because we're going to outscore you. The Raiders are in that situation right now, and I'm glad. So I'm going to talk about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we have that potential. We have a better core of talent than what KC. If this coaching staff can really put these guys in the best situation possible, you're talking about probably the most explosive offense in all of football. This team is going to be something to be reckoned with. There's not many. Look, we're even talking about teams when we talk about like, oh, all these coverages have to go to Devontae and Darren and 4th or 5th CBs are going to be covering these other guys. Injuries pop up. What happens when these teams got beat up secondaries and they're signing boys off the practice squad and you're lining up playing against Devontae Adams and Hunter Renfro and Darren Waller and Keelan Cole and you go down the line, Tyron Johnson's. You got to get in the box with Josh Jacobs and Kenyon Drake and Bolden and Zeus. I'm sorry, but every team faces injuries, and not every secondary is going to be healthy, and not every secondary has all pro corners that are going to be guarding Devontae every week. It's just not going to happen. So, look, these teams have to stay healthy, and I know that they're not. Watch out, because the Las Vegas Raiders are coming, and we're going to put our foot on a few teams' throats.
First of all, you get great coaches, and then you get great players, and you tell them one thing, just win, baby.
Just win, baby.
That's why I finish my videos with that every single time. That interview
exactly
with me. I always say it. Until next time, Raider Nation, just win, baby. That quote has just always stuck with me as a Raider fan. I absolutely love it. I agree with OG 100%. These opponents don't know what's coming with the offense we have.
There you go.
No idea.
They don't. They have no idea.
To quote Uncle Scar, they have no idea.
He said I even feel great about getting Raider jerseys without the players being on the team anymore. That's funny, bro. I want to get a nasty Devontae Adams. My next purchase, I know you guys have seen, I got the Max Crosby jersey signed. My next purchase is going to be an autographed Devontae Adams jersey. I'm gonna find one.
Max Crosby because I've only got one offensive player jersey, and it's a college jersey of Kenny Stabler. Otherwise, I have nothing but defensive players. I'm a defensive guy, man.
I know. I love Max. I had to go. Look, this is my custom. I've shown you this, OG, but I made this hoodie. Round 4, pick 106. Max Crosby. I got Crosby going down. Max Crosby going down.
You made those. Are you merchant yet?
Dude, I'm telling you, when this channel – look, chat, y'all need to let me know down in the comment section.
You need to be merchant, bro.
If Raider Ray starts producing some merch, will somebody go out and rock some Raider Ray hoodies, some Raider Ray shirts, hats, whatever it may be? I will get the merch going. I got everything right here to the left of me to do it. But look, you guys just let me know. If that's something that you guys would be interested in and you guys would support that, we can get some Raider Ray merchandise.
You need to put out the merch. That shit's fire. And you know what? There's dude, that stuff's awesome. You need to start putting that out ASAP. Dude, exciting times are coming.
And what's funny is that we're in the buildup of it, right? We're in that time of the season where everything is being formed and created. We're like in that womb process of this Raider dynasty where the things are being created and coming together. the foundation behind the scenes are being laid. The playbook is getting put in place, and the relationships and the chemistry and what guy is going to fit here, all the pieces to the puzzle is kind of getting put together. And I'm enjoying every bit of that process. It's not something that we should look past. I'm not looking at the AFC Championship yet. I'm not looking at the Super Bowl yet. My eyes are focused on the processes that we're in right now, and I'm eating it up because I'm watching a team, even when you're looking at eyes from afar, when it comes to social media, when things are being released. This team is developing a relationship that is special. It's very unique, and you can see early signs of it right off the bat.
I'm looking at the Hall of Fame game.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that preseason game. I never say that, right? I take that back. I'm a film junkie, so anytime I get a chance,
I never really spent much time on the preseason until last year, and because I'm watching this thing develop, and I'm like, this year, oh yeah.
Well, there's a lot of kids you got to put your eye on. There's a lot of talented players that could potentially make this roster. There's a lot of UDFA guys. I said it earlier in the chat before everybody was on, is that the Patriots organization, and not to say that this organization is just going to be just like the Patriots. They're not. But Dave Ziegler, Champ Kelly, these guys have thrived finding these undrafted free agents that come in and contribute right away to these rosters. So that's why my eye has been so heavily focused on these UDFA classes, because there are going to be a player or two that rises up out of them that contributes more than what we ever thought. So players like Bam Asoleni, a guy I dropped a video about today. I've got another video coming out about Zach Van Valkenburg. This is a kid that, and I've seen it, OG, I've seen it. The Raiders are starting to release pictures of him at practice, of him interacting with the players in that room, just like they're doing with Bam. I'm just seeing these little nuggets of like, look, they know what they got, and they're keeping it a little bit quiet. Zach Van Valkenburg might be a kid that I think that can make the protected practice squad, or maybe earn a depth role at that defensive end spot.
Our future Chandler Jones. Van is our future Chandler Jones.
Yeah.
And you know what? Here's the thing, man. My next jersey I'm going to buy is an offensive player. I've only got, like I said, I got one. It's a college throwback jersey for Kenny Stabler. It's a Crimson Tide jersey. But my next player is going to be an offensive jersey because I want a Bo Jackson.
You want to? Oh, yeah. Bo Jackson.
I want a Bo Jackson.
Yes, that's the greatest one.
So, Rafael, brother, what do you got going on right now? What do you got going on in the works? I know you messaged me about getting on your show, and we can do that. Let me know when I'll let you know when I get some time, and I'll hop on there and talk some Raiders with you, brother.
Yes, it is, because right now I'm gonna do with a lot of things in summer, which is in June, July, and August, which is my birthday, 9. And of course, I gotta do with a face-to-face with some of the Raiders content creators, because last night I had the opportunity to talk with the Raider critique about the Hunter Renfro extension, about what's going on with the Raiders, and the one and only John Madden, who changed the whole football history, who became part of the history right now. And I'm very excited about all these things coming out in the summer. And it's going to be a silver and black experiment with all these days right here. But I just bought just like the jersey with the Raiders with Kelly Mack, but I'm hoping I'm going to buy, a Max Crosby jersey. That's what I wanted for my birthday. And before I leave right here, I just wanted to say, I know I'm very split just right here, but Raider Ray keep doing the great content, and of course, you always got the support of El Capitan Rafuti right here. So if there's only one word to describe the 2022 season of Las Vegas Raiders, we're gonna dominate it. And of course, do not mess with the motherfucking Raider Nation right there. So salute to y'all.
Hey, you decide to have bye. Okay. Wow. So not going to Jacksonville. I'm thinking about going to the Tennessee game though, bro. Week 3.
So look, we need to sign a solid right tackle, Darrell Williams. We're in trouble if Alex Leatherwood is going to be our starting right tackle. And I've kind of addressed this.
Chance to develop, bro. Do you remember 3 years ago how we were talking about Colton Miller? He was trash. Oh, get rid of him. He was a bust. The next year, he improved by leaps and bounds. And then last year, he's a Pro Bowler. He will be in the Pro Bowl next year. And 3 years from now, you'll be saying that about 2 years from now. You'll be saying that about Alex Leatherwood. Give him a shot, man.
You really got to let this guy compete. You got to, and look, there's going to be
they're
times where it
giving
looks
him
ugly.
Starting reps.
There's going to be times where,
showing him.
yeah, there's going to be times where this is going to look ugly, but you really got to let this guy compete, right? And do I think that it's a pressing need that we have to look? If we wanted Darrell Williams, this organization would have went and got Darrell Williams. If they seen a huge need at the right tackle position already, they would have went and signed it. Matter of fact, if Darrell Williams was this great right tackle, 31 other teams, somebody would have went and got him by now. There's a reason why he's a free agent out on the open market right now, and that's why I'm not breaking glass to go and get him. Let Alex Leatherwood earn his stripes a little bit. You've got guys like Jermaine Illuminor, who started for Josh McDaniels in their offense at right tackle and contributed nicely. You've got a guy like Denzel Good, if he can return from that ACL injury. This is a guy who plays all over the offensive line. In a pinch, if Alex Leatherwood were to go down, I feel completely okay with Denzel Good being a serviceable right tackle for the meantime.
Right, but they're giving him starting reps, and they're showing him things. And if you watch the presser, he said it was about my hand placement and using my hands. That was his weakness. They're coaching him out of that weak hand placement and false starts. They're working on him with that, and he knows it. He acknowledges it, and that's his main focus, bro. Leatherwood is going to be a hell of a lot better than he was last year. Watch. Give him a shot.
Oh, for sure. And especially when we're talking the pass protection, there was just on film, there's just time where it's hands and feet together. Sometimes those feet are hesitating. When his feet hesitate, his hands hesitate. And
his feet were good, but his hands were weak, bro. He doesn't know how to stop a slap down or anything else. They're working on hand placement, and they're teaching him power hands. He said, we're working on placement, then we're going to go to power hands. These are the things I needed to focus on. And he acknowledges where his weakness was, and that's all they're working on right now. Give Basilio a chance to give him that run.
Well, he said something that was really interesting in the press conference, and he was saying that, at first in the beginning of the season, everything was going by so fast. And he said towards the end of the year, everything started to slow down for me. And Alex Leatherwood ended on a decent note. I know not in the playoff game, not in the Bengal game. The refs were really targeting Alex Leatherwood, bro. They were doing that quite a bit. And he does have pre-snap penalty issues. But Alex Leatherwood is somebody who got better at that right guard position as the year went on. If this game can slow down and he can really get under Coach Brasillo and get some good coaching, I think Coach Brasillo is a better offensive line coach than what Tom Cable is. So I think that he really has a chance. I need to get to this chat.
You need to get to chat, bro.
Top 3 undrafted players, I will land Zach Van Valkenburg, a guy I'm pretty big on, Darian Butler, Palomala. Those are good guys, bro. It's going to be one of these guys, right? There's going to be a handful of these guys that contribute and make this roster. Our O-line coach will coach up Leatherwood to an all-pro. He wants to put in the work and get better. And that's all you want. You want a young guy who's willing to put in the work. Now, if this was a guy who thought he was already good, I came from Alabama, the most prestigious college there is out there. I don't need coached. I'm already good. I'd have a problem with Alex Leatherwood. This kid ain't like that. He puts his heart on and he comes to training camp and he wants to work. I love that. The power block.
Hit this harder because these guys are throwing war and peace at you.
Yeah, and to put somebody over like Foster Moreau to help chip and cover is going to help him a lot on the outside. Foster Moreau is a phenomenal blocker. That's something that nobody really ever talks about is his ability to block. And you put him over there next to Alex Leatherwood and have him chip guys and let Alex Leatherwood clean things up. I'm not worried about it. I'm really not that worried.
He'll be better this year. It's his first year.
Just got a black Devontae Adams jersey and a white Darren Waller jersey. I have 2 white jerseys and 3 black jerseys. I have to buy 1 more white jersey to even it out, right? You also got to get one of those color rush jerseys, Yoshi. I think that's how you should mix it up. I think you should go get one of those white and silver jerseys. They look kind of nasty. Great extension for the Las Vegas slot machine. Hunter Renfro, he deserves it. Now it's time to give the baller Darren Waller a contract situation.
We can't extend him this year. We can't extend him. He's got 2 years on his contract. We can give him a little bonus money, but we can't extend him. It's the rules of the NFL Players Association.
It'll be a retooled contract. They'll increase his pay. That's pretty much what's going to happen. Because when you're looking at the time and the longevity in his contract, 2 years, that's kind of like that 3 to 4 year window that the Raiders have in this win now type of mode. So yeah, they could bump up his pay for these next 2 seasons, and he's going to be next. Like I said it about a week ago. I'm not worried about the extension situation because these guys will be Raiders. That's why Derek Carr took the contract that he took, arguably the best contract in all of sports. These guys are going to be Raiders.
James H said, just like what OG said, think Colton Miller. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly like that, bro.
Facts. Remember, the change of the scheme is only going to help Leatherwood. Yeah, it's a power gap scheme now. This is something they ran pretty similar in Alabama. He's going to be able to use his size, put his hands on people, simplify the game. He doesn't have to get out in space as much, doesn't have to pull as much. It's going to benefit a lot of the guys on this offensive line.
Mana Tangitao, Alex Leatherwood is garbage. You know what? He was. So was Colton Miller's first season. How you feeling about Colton Miller now?
Yeah.
Give him a shot. Yeah, he was a rookie, man. He was a rookie.
Yeah, it's tough.
Oh,
he was a rookie, bro. Yeah, exactly. All eyes on. Yep. I need to get me a white one. I only have black ones. Ray is right. Them color rush ones are fire. They are, bro. I want to get a color rush.
I will not buy a white jersey, dude. I spill too much. I got to get black jerseys only.
Well, here's the thing. I got jerseys like that Max Crosby one, the signed Trayvon Merrick, the signed Max Crosby jersey. Those are ones that are going in a frame. Like, that's not even going to get put on my body.
Jerseys you wear, but the thing is, those white jerseys, sometimes I like wine. I would look like a Washington what are they called? The Washington
Kansas City. No, Kansas City condiment.
Yeah,
like
ketchup and mustard McDonald's logos. Yeah, okay.
She says it's settled. I'll get a Crosby one. Look, since there's 16 people in the chat, I'm going to keep this a little bit of a secret, and I probably shouldn't tell you because I don't want the market to get flooded. If you guys go to a website called Pristine Auction, you can get authenticated, signed, autographed jerseys at really affordable prices. I think I got my autographed, and it comes with a certificate being verified that it's authentic. I think I got my signed Max Crosby jersey and it's a bidding site, so you're going to be bidding with other people. But I got my Max Crosby one, I think, for like $110. My Trayvon Merrick signed jersey that says "Just Win, Baby" and All-Pro Rookie, because he was part of the All-Pro Rookie class last year. That one I actually got for like $70. So you can go get autographed jerseys and really go. I'm really going to make it for my future.
You need to get like some endorsement money from them before you pitch that shit.
I'm just trying to hook up Raider Nation. That's it.
Yeah, I'm just saying. You need to save that for when you can get an endorsement.
I think we're set with the team. Maybe 2 or 3 more signings for depth. Remember, this is McDaniel Ezekiel's first year so far. And look, Roasted, I've come out with a few takes on this, and it's like you've built off of a 10-7 football team, and look at the amount of players they've thrown at this roster. Give these guys a chance to compete. Everybody's always talking about, right tackle, corner, linebacker. You know, every team in the National Football League is doing that. Every single one of them this time of year. We need to go get this. We need to go get that. You've built a roster that's we've had the best offseason we've ever seen in the Raiders organization's history. Let these guys compete. Give some of these guys on the back end of these rosters a chance to grab something. Give them an opportunity to taste that, hey, you can go get an outside corner spot. Hey, you can go get a backup right tackle spot and push for a starting spot. Hey, you can go get playing snaps as a linebacker year 1. Let these guys earn that. You're going to create a dog mentality in these rooms. You just start throwing names at these rooms. These guys that are on the back end, they're going to be like, look, they're adding these veterans. I'm not even going to make this roster anyway. Like, you're hindering the development of the guys that are currently on this team. And not to mention, you got a lot of good man coverage corners. And look, when you want to add somebody, kick at the end of training camp. When these guys release players, I know Patrick Graham has his eyes on a few players that aren't big names, that you might not even really know their names, but their scheme fits for what he does. They might meet all the measurables. They might play really good in man coverage. They were on a predominantly zone team. Look, there's going to be guys that Patrick Graham can bring in, and the names might not even wow you. Look last year when we brought in Denzel Perryman. Everybody's like, we gave up a 6th-round pick for Denzel Perryman. He's going to just get injured in 2 games anyways. Kid goes out there and puts up 150 tackles and turns into a Pro Bowl linebacker, and now the Raiders are in contract talks to extending him. You don't know, and that was a late-year addition. That wasn't a day.
How old is Denzel Perryman?
He's getting up there. I think he's
Is he over? Well, how old is he?
I think he's like 29. I can look real quick.
He's older than you. And you call him a kid. I call him a kid. I call him a kid. I call our coach a kid. But I call every player on that team that kid.
I do.
Some of these guys are older than you.
He's a grown man. Let me say that. I shouldn't say kid. This guy's a grown man. It's weird because now I'm starting to
man amongst boys.
It's weird because I'm starting to get to that age where, like, for the long time when I was following the Raiders, I was younger than these guys, or they're right at my age, and now I'm at the point where I'm older than them. So I'm just like, all right, in my eyes,
you're older than some of them. You're older than some of them, and in 5 years, yeah, they're kids.
By the end of the season, there will be no question that Dave Ziegler and the front office tried everything they could to maximize the talent on this team. 100% straight up facts. And that's why, dude, that's why I think you're not seeing them go out and get a lot of more bodies right now. Because like I said earlier, this is an organization that is going to let these UDFAs and these late round guys compete because they love them. You're talking about values.
And wait until August or September when some of these guys come out of the market cheaper. We grab them and get real high-end talent. Because that Dave Ziegler kid, he's doing talent. But I can say he's a kid because he's younger than me.
They got an eye for talent. That's why I'm going to be looking for these names that when they're like, when they sign a name post-training camp and everybody's like, oh, whatever, the guy's probably not even going to be around. Those are the names to watch out for. Those are the guys that tend to get a new change of scenery, a fresh start, and they really run away with it, and that's what I like. Yep, Perryman turns 30 in December. We got Pharoah down in the chat. Pharoah, if you do want to come on to the show, brother, I'll drop the link into it, kind of give the nation a little bit of a show here.
I'd love to hang with Pharoah, but I'm going to tell you right now, man, give it about 5 to 10 more years, call anybody a kid, and you're on point.
Dude, I'm just so used to doing it, I think.
That kid, Dave Ziegler, I can say this because he's a lot younger than me.
I can't.
Doing a phenomenal job.
I think I get so used to talking about the rookie classes and the undrafted free agents that I'm like, these are all kids now because they're younger than me, which is so weird to say, bro. I do not feel that old. I'm only 27, bro. I'm still a young dog in this game. I'd be looking for my second contract right now. I'd be entering my prime, OG. All right, so I'm going to post this down here. Look, Pharoah, if you want to come on and talk Raiders, brother, you're always more than welcome at all times on this show. I really enjoyed our conversation last time. And looking forward to doing some stuff with you in the future, bro, for sure.
Bro, no, it's funny. I say that kid. I say it myself. But I'm 57. I'm probably the same age as Mark Davis, so everybody else is a kid to me.
I told you, OG,
years, you can use that word kid freely, and you'll be talking about GMs and everybody else.
I told you, dude, I'm an old soul. I hang out with older gentlemen, and that's just how I get used to. I'm always, oh, kid, you're this and that. So I pick up on that dialogue. And I'm like,
my two best friends back in the day, back in the 90s, my two best friends were 80 and 92 years old. These were old guys.
I love learning around some guys with some life experience.
Huh?
I love hanging around guys with some life experience. I've learned a lot.
Yeah, well, they were my buddies. I had to drive them to Dodgers games because one guy was legally blind. The other guy had his license removed because he had a little bit of dementia. One was 82. One was 80. The other was 92. They were my boys. That was my posse. That's who I hung with. We go to Dodgers games. I drive that big old Cadillac of Larry's. He couldn't drive it anymore, but he loved being in it. And Don, and it was fun. And no, I hung out with old guys back when I was young. And, well, kind of like you. And not as old as them, but old enough.
He said, I wouldn't mind if they extended Perryman. He's a dog. Like, this is a guy that fit in the system. I'm curious, though. Patrick Graham is going to put these players in the best position to succeed, right? And I think Perryman, he's going to fall in that category as well. Denzel really caught success with that that Gus Bradley defense, a defense that he's extremely familiar with, one that really simplifies his role, doesn't ask him to do much but go downhill. Hopefully, Patrick Graham really keeps him in that kind of system, doesn't ask him to do a little bit too much, which is why I think they went out and got the type of linebackers that they went and got. They went out and got a Kenny Young. They went out and got a Divine Diablo. They went out and got a Jayon Brown. These are guys that can cover, and when you move to that nickel coverage, these are guys that you can plug in. Don't be surprised when Jayon Brown and Divine Diablo or Jayon Brown and Kenny Young are your linebackers in that nickel package because they offer more when it comes to pass coverage.
Yeah, but Patrick Graham is also going to make players play to their strengths. Right. Okay, that's the offense and the defense of the team. They're both sides are going to make the players play to their strengths. And putting Denzel Perryman in a situation where he's going to succeed is where they're going to put him. Otherwise, he ain't playing. They're going to put him where it's time to put him in. And I think that's going to happen for a lot of players. You're going to see a lot of rotation. You're going to see a lot of guys in and out. Okay, do it.
Who's your under-the-radar type of defensive player on this roster? If you could say that.
Under-the-radar what?
Who is your underdog type of defensive player on this staff? Like, is it in the secondary? Is it in the linebacker room? Is there maybe an edge player that you're looking at?
Well, I still think that quarterbacks are not going to test Merrick too much because they know he's going to eat them for lunch. So we're not having it. Jonathan Abrams, under the radar. Under the radar defensive player. Okay, I'll tell you my under the radar defensive player. Bilal Nichols, he used to play for the Chicago Bears, who has spent most of his career, all of his career, being double teamed against teams that can't afford to double team him anymore because they've got Chandler Jones and Max Crosby. Why are you going to double team Bilal Nichols? And he's going to destroy the middle of that. What do the quarterbacks hate the most? Pressure up the middle. Right. There's my guy, Bilal Nichols.
No, I like that. I like that take. If I have to go with my underrated type of defensive player, am I up loud on yours? Is your volume up?
No. Am I allowed on yours?
I just heard an echo. I didn't know. It might be.
Hold on. Let me. Oh, shit. Hold on. Sorry.
No, you're
Once I come onto a live, my volume jumps from 33 to 80 something. So that's my fault. It's my computer. It's crap. I gotta get another computer.
No, you're good. Oh man. If I had to say an underrated doesn't necessarily mean superstar. It doesn't mean that, but a player that I could see contribute a lot more. I'll give you one on each level. Malcolm Kuntz is mine on the defensive line. I think this is a kid that's really going to step up year two. This is a kid that offers you, 30 pass rushes last year, comes away with 2 sacks and 5 QB hurries. I mean, his success rate is absolutely ridiculous. You go into the linebacker room. Jayon Brown is a guy that really stands out for me in this scheme specifically when it comes to having to cover a lot of guys. And if we're moving into the secondary, I want to talk about a few guys, really. Cravon LeBlanc, I think he's underutilized. I think Anthony Averett, this is a guy with 4.3 speed who really stepped up for the Baltimore Ravens last year and really emerged as their number one DB, a name that not a lot of people are talking about. Rock Ya-Sin, this kid is on the uprise. This kid is someone in man coverage. You're talking about one of the top 5 to 7 man cover corners in all of football. You're getting him at the prime of his career. You're getting him at the point to where he's all in with football. And you're really catching these guys at right around the right time in their careers, which is something that the Raiders haven't done in times past, right? They've either taken chances on guys that really didn't work out. They hopped around team to team, and the Raiders were trying to ignite them and give them a fresh start. And then you get guys that are way over past their prime, and you bring them in at 34 years old, 33 years old, and they're just not – they're a former shell of themselves. You're catching a lot of these guys in the right times of their careers. And Bilal Nichols was a really good one that you brought up. What's intriguing is on all levels, you have a multitude of guys. Like, we're finally in that position where you kind of can't go wrong with a choice here. Roasted Raider says, I'll go Cleveland Farrell. Cleveland Farrell has a potential to really have a better year. He could really come in and the outside linebacker, I know it's not going to be as drastic as a change of what it's kind of hyped up in the media. He's really going to be asked to do a lot of the same stuff. He's going to really have to get aggressive when it comes into the run game. But I think having the guys in front of him to kind of eat up the bulk of protection duties with offensive lines, it's going to really open up Clee. And Clee doesn't have to be the main focus.
Right, but Clee, if he can have a more productive year, he can stay with the team, and that's fine. I'm going to stay with Bilal Nichols. The man has been double covered his entire career with the Bears, and that double coverage won't be there. And he's had success up the middle with the Bears. Double covered. You take away that double coverage, and you got pressure up the middle, this man is going to become one of the biggest disruptors in the NFL. I honestly believe this. Like, you okay, go get Sue. If we go get Sue, we don't even need linebackers or quarterbacks or safeties. I don't care. They won't be able to. You can get a troop of Girl Scouts to cover whatever your receivers are. They only got to guard them for a second and a half, because then your quarterback's going down and going down hard.
If you build that front, especially with an Adama,
the greatest front in NFL history, if you put Sue in there. If you don't put Sue in there, it's going to be one of the greatest fronts in NFL history. Okay? I'm just saying, Bilal Nichols is underrated, and you need to look at his tape. You need to look at what he's done. You need to look at what he's gone against versus what he's going to be going against now. The double coverage won't be there. They can't afford that. You got Crosby and Jones. You're letting three other guys eat.
Well, Pharoah made up a good point last week when he came on the show and we were talking, and he was saying how Dave Ziegler wins these deals. And Dave has done a fantastic job of not going he's gone out and got the superstar. He went out and got Devontae and Chandler, and he extended Max and Hunter, and is in talks with Darren Waller and got Derek Carr extended. He did all that, but he really went out and he got contracts that he won. I mean, he got good football players: Anthony Avery, Rock Ya-Sin, Darius Phillips, Cravon LeBlanc, Bilal Nichols. I mean, Kenny Young, Cheon Brown. These are good football players, and he doesn't have to overpay for them. And
but he also picked up great football players.
Yeah, the blend, and like I said, we've said it a few times. OG is like, typically when a team is in the playoffs like that and goes 10-7 and loses one score to the team that goes to the Super Bowl, you typically don't see them flood that team with a ton of talent. They go out and get one or two good name players and kind of throw some guys in on the roster and hope something sticks. The Raiders went a different approach, and they're like, we are going to throw as much talent, as many good players as possible onto this roster and really just make this a deep football team at all areas.
I think he went and said, let's find the most underrated players in the NFL and snack them up.
Yep.
Snatched them up. Rock Ya-Sin, J.M. Brown, all these guys, Bilal Nichols. He went and grabbed a bunch of guys that are underrated and said, yeah, let's bring them over here on the cheap. And he did, for the most part. And these players are going to be superstars. These players are going to be, oh, wow, he just smacked that out of his hands. Oh, wow, he just picked that six. Oh, wow, these are guys that that are under the radar, who should be on the radar as major weapons. And I think that is Ziegler's great talent. It worked for him in New England, and it's going to work for us here.
Well, Dave Ziegler and Josh McDaniels, they're probably the biggest addition of everything. I mean, the Devontae, the Chandler, all these acquisitions, none of this happens if we don't have Dave Ziegler and Champ Kelly, in my opinion. If you still have Gruden and Mayock, I don't think you go out and get the assets that you went and got this offseason. So the additions of Dave Ziegler and Josh McDaniels and Champ Kelly, this is a home run that Mark Davis hiring these guys. I know that it came with a lot of criticism, but what a coaching staff to go out and get. Oh, hold on.
Top 5 acquisitions this year. You
Aaron
ready?
Davison says, "Who's Nichols?" You want to do it or
Bilal Nichols?
yeah? That's what he's asking.
Look up his film as a Bear and watch. He's been double teamed his entire career, and they can't afford to double team him now. He's a big pressure up the middle now, and he's a run stopper in the run game. In the pass game, he's a big pressure. Top 5 acquisitions of this year: Devontae Adams, 1. Chandler Jones, 2. Dave Ziegler, 3. Josh McDaniels, 4. Patrick Graham, 5. Those are the biggest acquisitions we got this year. Guys, the dynasty begins. I've been screaming it since the end of the postseason. Our dynasty begins this year. Now, I was watching that Eisner guy. What's his name? Something Eisner.
I watch no media. So I can tell you.
He's a reporter. Rich Eisner
Okay, yeah.
said that the Raiders are in the beginning of a dynasty and they are definitely going to win the AFC Championship. Now, I said we're going to the AFC Championship. This guy's talking about us winning it.
Look at how we're built. I mean, it's going to be undeniable at the point. It's going to be one of these places where who are you? You're going to ask these defenses. Not many defenses in the National Football League are built to cover a football team like the Raiders, and the Raiders know that. That's what the swagger
is built to cover this team. This offense is not coverable. This offense will run. It will do what they want to you. You can't stop them. So when they run up 35, 45 points on you, and our defense can keep you to 20, 25. And here's the thing. I think this defense will keep teams to lower than that. I think our defense is underrated, and we are better than what everybody's saying. If we are a top 20 defense, we're winning the Super Bowl. If we're a top 15 defense, we're winning the next 3 out of the next 5 Super Bowls. It's over for the rest of the NFL. You're on notice. You're going to get smacked.
Okay? No, yeah, I know Rich Eisen. I don't know who he was talking about. I know Rich Eisman, a few of them cats. I started getting away from the whole national media narrative because them are a bunch of jokers, bro. They'll just they'll talk about some reckless stuff.
But he gives it a buck, okay?
Yeah.
The thing is this: if we are a top 20 defense, which we were in 2016, Derek Carr doesn't get hurt, we win a Super Bowl. If we are better than top 20, we're winning 3 Super Bowls in the next 6 years minimum.
You see, James
begun.
James says we get Sue will have a veteran leadership on the interior line, on the edge, linebacker, and in the secondary. And you have a good blend of vet players and young emerging players, and that's what successful football teams do. You go get a guy like Sue. Look, this defense with Patrick Graham asking all these guys to do a lot and be very versatile, they're going to be learning a lot, especially those early games in the season. This is the first game reps that these guys are going to have together. A lot of them are new. So you go and get these guys up front that can generate a ton of pass coverage. All it does is it helps that back end because they don't have to cover as long. So if you go get an Ndamukong Suh and you build one of the most nasty front sevens there is, it's only going to benefit that back half of the defense. So, yeah, I'm all for the Raiders going in and getting Ndamukong Suh. No other team is in the bidding right now. So that tells me that the Raiders are still a team that's in play, and I do expect at some point Ndamukong Suh will more than likely to be a Raider.
All right, so if we go get a Suh, we got Max Crosby and Ndamukong Suh, Bilal Nichols, and Chandler Jones. Do you even give a damn about our backfield? Our defensive backfield? They don't. They could be the crappiest defensive backfield out there with that line, and we're going to win that game.
And here's the thing: they're not, though. That's what's awesome.
No, they're not.
Yeah, that's what's awesome. Is Trayvon Mullen is more of a press man guy, a long guy.
And in week 10 or 11, when he goes down, we'll have a backup. That's great. We got Sue, who doesn't get injured. Chandler Jones, Max Crosby doesn't get injured. Bilal Nichols doesn't get injured. Do you actually think that it matters who the hell our backfield is in defense? Because they only got to cover for 1.5 seconds before your quarterback goes down and goes down hard. It doesn't. We could throw Girl Scouts out there, and we're going to win. Okay?
I don't.
That's ferocious. This defense.
I hear you. That's what a front seven does. You know what I mean? It helps everything on that back end that much easier. I'd like to still bring in good to. I just want to bring in even those middle of the pack guys that can cover a man coverage, because look, I don't want everything to be on the pass rush. I'll put more on the pass rusher's plate than I do the DBs, but I want these DBs also to be covering guys to the point that these quarterbacks are even holding on to the ball, and we're seeing almost double our statistics when it comes to sack production, because quarterbacks have nowhere to go with these balls. Like, say they don't even have pressure. Say a team does really good and they cover up Chandler and Max, and that interior push just isn't getting quite home. I want guys on the back end of that defense that's making these quarterbacks hold on to that football a little bit. I want to attack teams in both schemes. When we go against really good offensive lines, I want to have a DB room that's so good at press man coverage that they're struggling to find guys to get open. That's what I want. I don't need big, sexy names. I need scheme fits, guys that have the measurables that Patrick Graham's looking for, guys that are going to put their hard hat on and play nasty, gritty football. And that's what you get with a guy like Rock Ya-Sin. That's what you get with a guy like Anthony Avery. That's what Cravon LeBron, he brings it, bro. Go watch these guys. They are nasty. They get their head involved. They're hard hitters. They're not afraid. They're not passive corners. They're aggressive, and they'll go get it. I love what we're doing here.
Okay, let me ask you a question, brother.
Yeah.
Get Namdegan Sue.
Yeah.
Right? Let's say we get him. Who beats us this year? Who do we lose to?
Okay, so when it comes to the AFC, when I'm just looking at talent alone, you're going to have tough games. I'm not saying that the Raiders lose them. I'm not saying that at all. But when you're talking about Buffalo Bills, you're talking about an Andy Reid coaching staff. These are guys that you're going to compete with. They're going to be good football games. When it comes to the NFC, look, I think like a team like the Rams. I know that they just went to the Super Bowl and all that. It's just their position players that I like. Their skill position players, and Aaron Donald up front, Jalen Ramsey on the outside, Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods. Like, I like all that stuff that they got going on. So scheme-wise, I feel like that's just a game that I want to watch as a fan, because I think you're going to see modern NFL explosive plays. When I say like who's going to beat the Raiders, it's hard to say like this team's going to come in and dominate us, because I think we're in every single football game. 31 teams in the NFL, the Raiders are in every single one of them.
If we bring in Sue, who beats us? Who beats us if we bring in Sue in the middle of that line with Chandler Jones, Max Crosby, and Bilal Nichols? Okay, and the defense we have right now, if we bring in Sue, who can beat us?
It's one you got to think about, bro. It is. And it's fun to be able to sit here and say it's hard. It's hard to bring up a team that I say goes in there and just puts their foot on us, because I don't think it's happening.
We go 1972 Dolphins. If we bring in Sue, we are the 1972 Dolphins. Do you know who that is?
Oh yeah. I just don't want the outcome that they had.
Undefeated.
I want a better postseason.
If we bring in Sue, we go 1972 Dolphins on the NFL and just smoke their asses.
Jack Kenna says, salute, brothers. Salute to you, Jack Kenna. I hope you're available. If you're available, let me know in the chat, and I'll drop a link so you can come on and talk with you boys. Yoshi says, Jack. Jack says, Yoshi, salute, brother. So, Jack, let me know real quick if you're available, and I will drop a link to the chat, and you can come on and talk with us. If not, it's all good. We've had a good show, man. We're going an hour and 50. We probably won't be too much longer. I wanted tonight to be more simplified and
if we bring in Dominic Sue, we are undefeated.
Jack doesn't agree. He says Sue doesn't make or break this team.
With what we have, we will be undefeated.
Jack, are you available to come on, brother? Let me know down real quick.
I'll disagree with him all night.
I want to get some dialogue where we can kind of go back and forth and sharpen each other up and why we
iron sharpens iron.
Yeah, so look, I think Sue doesn't make or break the football team. I don't think any player that's an available free agent.
He doesn't make or break, but he takes us from the best to undefeated.
No, yeah, exactly. So this sums it up. But I hate but what if Sue signs elsewhere, and does that change what team is harder to win?
All right, we're still going to win. We're still going to the AFC Championship game.
So look, I kind of agree with Jack in an aspect, and I think OG feels the same way. Now, Ndamukong Suh doesn't make or break this team. Nobody in free agency is going to make or break this team. A Darrell Williams is not going to make or break this football team. And Odell Beckham Jr. is not going to break it. Everybody that's on the open market right now, all they are is putting a cherry on top of something that is already a beautiful dessert. That's all.
Ice cake. Yep.
Oh, that's all this is.
Drop the link.
Yep, I'm going to right now.
I'm telling you, if we don't get Sue, we win. We still going to the AFC Championship. If we do get Sue, we're going undefeated. He's going to pick up 1 or 2 games extra for us and put us there. That's where I'm at it.
We got the trio dropped up on here, boy. Every time this happens, it all goes
is hanging out.
It all goes to crap when we all come on the show together. Love you guys.
It falls apart.
Salute Nation.
What's going on, Nation? Shout out to the chat. If you guys haven't yet,
go
down and like this video. If you're in here and you haven't liked the video, man, go out real quick. I don't ask much from you guys ever. Hit it with the like. Bring this up so more people can find this channel and just make it better experience for absolutely everybody. Roasted Raider says, not saying they'll beat us. But
comment after the show's over. It helps the channel.
Okay.
Hey, everyone, subscribe, like, and sub to this channel. And do the same thing for OG, too.
Without a fact, go over to OG.
That guy's sus.
No, go over to OG. Bring us subscribers. 5 of you that aren't subscribed to OG, I want OG to get at least a minimum of 5 subscribers tonight. Go let that guy get
You know what? Fuck OG. That guy's kind of sus. I'm only here so I don't get fined.
Well, I'm finding you. Not saying they'll beat us, but the closest is the Rams. That's the team I'm looking at. I like what Sean McVay does. I like the skill set players that they have. Look, that's the team I think about. That's the one that comes to mind. The Bills, I'm not that worried about. I do like their defensive scheme that they run. It's that aggressive, kind of old school, hit you in the mouth type of defense. I appreciate that. The Rams I like. The Ravens, I think, are falling off a little bit when it comes to skill set positions. Kansas City, I really like their coaching staff. But, yeah, there's not a lot of teams anymore that I'm like that. Like, now, when it comes time to that Rams game, I think all eyes around the National Football League at that point are going to be watching that game because you're probably looking at a potential Super Bowl game right there.
Okay, but if Sue goes to the Rams, you got to pay super high taxes. That's California.
No, Sue wants to be a Raider. Let's make no mistake about that. Especially if it only comes down to finances. If you're a free agent in the National Football League, you want to be a Las Vegas Raider. It's a good football team, no state income taxes. You're in Vegas. All eyes are on you. This is the team to be with, hands down.
Well, unless the Rams are offering you more than 7.5% differential or 8.25 differential, why go there? You're losing money that way.
James, I don't think the Bengals are like. I agree. Sue on the Bills, KFC, Donkeys. Not worried about the Donkeys, and really, honestly, not really that worried about the Bengals. I think if we had the roster that we have right now today, competing in the playoffs with the team that the Bengals had, look, I don't think it was even like the Raiders probably win that game by 10 or more. If I'm being honest with you.
Have you ever been to Cincinnati?
The donkeys. Not like I said, I'm not scared of the donkeys. I'm really even with Russell Wilson. It's not like he went into a top 5 offensive line room. He starts out hot and he fades late in the season. It's been kind of a story of his recent history. The Bills, KFC, like I said, Kansas City. I like the coaching staff. I think they'll be tough every year just because what Andy Reid brings. And not to mention, every time these teams play in the division, we do compete hard with each other. It's a dogfight, right?
Have you ever been to Cincinnati? It's part of the Rust Belt. Like, not a fun town to live in.
No,
okay,
nobody
like
wants to go there.
Cleveland or Buffalo. Like, no, dude, you got to come to Las Vegas and pay less taxes than you would in LA. Weigh it out with your attorneys.
Play the
So,
Bills.
guys,
Like
you didn't bring me on here to, like, just see my pretty face. Let's talk about this. So, Sue, 6.5 sacks per season and plays every game. So he doesn't get a lot of sacks. Yes, he'll be great in the middle, but at the same time, Bilal Nichols is better than Sue right now. Do you guys disagree with that? Honestly, it's like Sue would be a great compliment to our defensive line.
Yeah.
Not going to be the starter. He ain't going to take over Bilal Nichols now. Sorry.
No, I think they go next to each
Ain't
other.
going to happen.
I think they'll
complement each other.
I think they play
So
next
if you got third down pressures, you put them both out there. That'll be awesome.
well,
Way
yeah,
awesome.
You have 2 inside guys who are averaging close to 7 sacks a season. And even you said that Ndamukong Suh wouldn't be a starter. I think he is, and he doesn't start over Bilal.
You think he'd be a starter over Bilal Nichols?
He's not going to play Bilal Nichols' position.
Each other.
They'll play next to each other.
Next. So it's third down possessions. Like, yeah, that'd be amazing and great. But don't ask for Sue, which we all know he's got the Raider mentality. He would look great in a Raiders jersey. My God, over all the years that he's played, he's like the Raider person I want to see on his team. But at the same time, he would not be a starter on this team right now.
Yeah, he would.
You're going to say that he's going to be a starter over Bilal Nichols?
No, he'd be right next to him.
He's going to be right next to him. He's not
next to him.
Below, yeah.
Third down.
All Nichols and
you can
Sue.
put Ndamukong Suh in that nose.
You got Crosby and Jones on the outside. Who are you going to stop?
Well, that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about the outside. We all know about the outside. It's going to be unbelievable and great. But we're talking about the inside. So the inside is Bilal Nichols right now and, Farrell.
So this is what I made a video and I talked to these guys last night, so they know that they know my opinion on this. Y'all forgetting about Neil Farrell Jr. Forget Sue, give the kid an opportunity. I came out
the rookie Farrell, not the other Farrell.
No, I talked about this last night with these guys, and I'm like, look,
watch it and commented.
This is a guy that's going to come in and push Jonathan Hankins right away. I mean, this is a guy that I want to start over Jonathan Hankins. He's younger, faster,
Absolutely.
offers you more in the pass rush. Neil Farrell Jr., like I said, I want these young kids to go out there and kind of pin their ears back a little bit and go forward. When you have an all-pro pass rusher duo like Chandler Jones and Max Crosby, you got a Bilal Nichols on the interior. Put some of these young guys in these situations and let them go get it. That's what I want this defense to create. Neil Farrell Jr., Matthew Butler. These guys are going to be good. These guys are going to contribute their rookie year.
Anna, I'm glad you're feeling better.
My wife says she's glad you're feeling back.
Always good to see the misses.
All right. And word for thump, I got to pay.
Thick frame Farrell. Look, Neil Farrell is a better version of Jonathan Hankins right away. The only thing I believe saving Jonathan Hankins is his contract. He's getting $425,000 fully guaranteed, which is extremely team-friendly when it comes to what he does. But look, he's so limited. And I know people are always like, oh, Raider Ray, he's not a pass rusher. And like, guys, I know. I watch a ton of football. I know Jonathan Hankins isn't this pass rusher. His stats aren't going to be all gawky. But even last season, I do think he took a step back. I'm not as high on him. I think he's a good run defender. And I'll leave it at that. Do I think he's in the elite category like he was maybe in 2020? No. I think last year he really did take a step back. And bringing in a guy like Neil Farrell Jr., a guy coming out of LSU, this kid's hungry. He's ready. And these are kids you plug and play and you let them go.
Ray, you just said everything I wanted to say. I can't even say one word to disrespect what you just said. Absolutely 100. It's like, I want to see, like, the only time I can want to see, like, having both those guys on the field is goal line.
Yeah, and I loved that take.
Besides that, no.
Yeah, you left that
all the way 100%.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, if you don't go get if you go get Sue, Jonathan Hankins is off this roster. That's fact. If you go get Ndamukong Suh, Jonathan Hankins will not be a Raider. I can
see Hankins sticking around just because what he said, $1.5 million, 1.25, cheap. So Hankins will be a goal line guy. I like that.
And put him and Neil Farrell. You're talking about two huge clogging defensive tackles.
Absolutely, brother.
And even if you got Sue, you put Hankins and Sue in with each other. And, I mean, you can just get so creative with it. You really can. Like, Neil Farrell is going to be one of those guys. I think he was a steal, man. Number 1 graded run defender coming out in college football. Like I said, I would encourage everybody that's in the chat, go and check out Neil Farrell Jr.'s Senior Bowl when it was one-on-one drills. The kid goes in there and he actually has a nasty counter spin move, something that's really underappreciated by his game. He does offer you more when it comes to pass rush. No, he's not going to come out and get 5 sacks. That's not his game. But there's one player that stood out on film in the one-on-one drills at the Senior Bowl, and I was like, man, who is this kid giving Neil Farrell Jr. some fits? Come to find out, it's Raiders' 3rd-round draft pick, Dylan Parham. And I was like, that is awesome. That is cool. And I was like, man, who is this kid? Looked it up, Dylan Parham. I'm like, man. And he was playing at the guard position. This is Dylan Parham at the guard position, somewhere where I see Dylan Parham can come and push those guys. If Denzel Good isn't healthy, to say that Dylan Parham can't come and compete with a John Simpson at one of those spots, look, Dylan Parham, there's a chance you could see him starting at some point, especially if somebody goes down.
Right. It's like, Pearl coming in here, and Hankins left after the first year of, like, Graham coming in at a D coordinator. So there's a reason for that. But so I see him as goal line only now. Farrell, absolutely, he's going to take over his job. It's like, and be on a cheap for the next 4 years. Man,
let him play.
That's an improvement.
Yeah, let him play. He's better than Jonathan Hankins right now. I guarantee it. Jack, I
guarantee it too, brother. You and me both to the nation. It's like it's an improvement. Yeah, absolutely.
What does James say here? Both guys will contribute in a huge way. Parham will start. Okay, so you think that Dylan Parham will start over John Simpson, which is something. I would like to see John Simpson get some preseason snaps because I'm curious to see how he translates over to the power gap scheme. I really do see that kind of going one of two ways. It could really benefit him. That way he's not asked to pull as much as he was in the past. But Dylan Parham, I just think this kid is a worker. I think that's how he's going to separate himself from the guys that's on this roster. Dylan Parham is an old school type of player. He's going to show up.
The difference with Parham versus, a guy like started last year is like Parham is like, he's all muscle, but he's kind of small at 311 pounds. But, the kid is like, he's a rock.
Yeah, he's a rock. You're never really going to see him on tape going forward and pushing guys back. He's more of a wall type of player. It's more like you're going to get in front of Dylan and you're going to get stood up and you're not going to go anywhere. Something that I would like to see out of Dylan is to be able to kind of push that line of scrimmage back a little bit. That's the one thing it's not that I don't like in his game because he's still effective when it comes to run blocking and pass blocking. It's just a style, right? This power gap scheme, pushing these guys forward, reestablishing that line of scrimmage and pushing that line of scrimmage a few yards back for these running backs. It's going to be hard for Dylan Parham to really, at this next level, to really get guys pushed into the backfield. So that's the only
Give him some time. He'll put more muscle on. He puts like 10 pounds of muscle on every year.
Yep.
Is what he's done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every year he's done that. So
solely
I can
talking
see
about
another
young-
10-pound be at like 320.
Yeah.
You know,
and he does a phenomenal job of putting good, healthy weight on. So when I'm talking about all this, I'm not talking about long term. I'm talking about this year one. That's the only thing in his game where I'm kind of like, you're a little bit undersized and you're not removing that line of scrimmage. This is me nitpicking. This isn't me coming down hard on Dylan Parham. But Luke, this is a kid that if John Simpson, if he doesn't show up to camp to work, Dylan Parham's right behind you, and this is a young dog. So yeah, you're right, James. Dylan Parham does have the opportunity, more likely than not, to compete for that spot. It's really how the staff views John Simpson at this point.
Hey guys, it's 10 o'clock at night for me. I got to get up at 6. I'm doing this on a regular, so Monday morning or Tuesday morning, I can get up at 4 a.m. to go catch my bus, to catch my flight, to catch my second flight, to go out to LA for my daughter's graduation. So I'm slowly going to bed earlier every night. And you know what? Love you guys, both you guys. You're buddies.
OG, Ted, tell Ed I said hello.
I will.
Tell Cujo 916, I said hello. Love you, brother.
I am gonna get ready for bed now. I'm trying to get up an hour, go to bed an hour earlier, and get up an hour earlier every day for the next 3 days. So I can get up at 4 in the morning on Tuesday and get to Columbia to get my bus, to get my flight, to do all the shit I gotta do. Love you guys, but I'm tired and I'm going to bed. Jack, love you. You're my brother. Ray, you are my favorite content creator. You are my brother. You are my friend. Love talking with you. And I'm glad you're heading where you're heading. You got a bunch of new shows you need to announce.
Yep.
And I can't wait to talk to you again.
Yeah. No, we got a lot to talk about. Maybe I can give you a call tomorrow or something. We can set something up.
Yeah, I can't hang late enough to chop it up late. I gotta get to sleep. I'm trying to train my body to get up earlier and earlier so I can do what I gotta do this week. I got a lot of traveling.
Hey, well, do what you gotta do, OG. We love you, and everybody go subscribe to OG. And brother, we'll be talking to you soon. All right.
Love you, and I will talk to you soon, brother.
Okay. See you, brother. All right, Jack. Me and you, brother. Dynamic duo.
Absolutely.
Parham is 6'2", 311. I see him at least as a backup center guard. And look, this is something I wanted to talk about earlier. We got 21 people in the chat, so there's still more than enough people to talk about. All this talk, right? Amik Robinson's getting first-team reps. Guard, gosh, why am I forgetting his name? Name the guard real quick that's getting first-team reps out of Alabama. Chat, drop the name real quick. It doesn't really matter all that much.
Leatherface?
No. Gosh, the chat will drop it. Anyways, there's all these guys, right, that are getting first-team reps, guys that you're not really keeping your eye on, or names that you might not hear, and everybody's like, oh, I was really high on Amik Robertson. I think that he can really be good. These guys are really, Lester Cotton. Thank you, James. Why did that whiff my head? Lester Cotton. Everybody's like, Lester Cotton could be the starting right guard. And look, he has good tape at times. There's some preseason games where he's a mauler in the run game. He's pretty good at pass protection. I like Lester Cotton. And if the coaching staff likes him, cool. I think he's getting a lot of burn because Denzel Good isn't there. And look, where the point I was going to make is these guys are seeing what all these guys can do. They're going to put them against the best players. So in Lester Cotton's situation, they're going to put Lester Cotton against the best front that the Raiders can offer him and see how he does. Amik Robinson, they're going to put Amik out there and see how he does going up against a guy like Devontae. You have to see what you have on this roster. So just because these guys are getting first-team reps in minicamp, it does not mean a thing. They are literally just seeing what they can do. So everybody's making all this content of Amik Robinson can be a number one, and Lester Cotton's going to be the starting guard, and all these weird kind of wild stuff, right? Like everybody's like, oh, Jonathan Abrams getting starting spots split out wide. It's because in practice they're going to see, okay, what are his limitations in coverage? What can we throw at him? What can he handle? What can he not handle? So, yeah, he's going to be put and forced in uncomfortable positions because the coaching staff is going to want to see what he has in him. I'm not buying into all these narratives. This is the time of year you got to chill out and realize that this is this coaching staff's first year. They're working with a lot of players that they've never worked with before, and they've got to see what they've got on the roster. That's my opinion.
Dang, Ray. I have nothing left to say. You said it all. Absolutely. There's no position on this team. They are trying everybody out at every position right now to see what's going on. It's all new regime. Offense, defense. They want to know what we have. They want to know where they can play. So don't buy into any position, a practice day of like, oh, this person's playing there. That person's playing there. Well, it is what it is. They don't know. We all want to know too. So
yeah, because I know
great words, brother.
Yeah, the last practice, everybody's like, oh, well, Brandon Parker's getting first team reps with the right tackle spot. And it's like, guys, yeah, they're seeing what all these kids can do. I guarantee you, Bam Asoleni at some point is going to get first team reps come camp. Does that mean that he's going to be the first team starter? No. But they're going to put him against dogs. They're going to see what does this kid got, and if we throw 30 pass rushes at him, they're going to have film to go break down of Bam Asoleni lined up going one-on-one against Max Crosby and Chandler Jones. That's what a good coaching staff does. That's what you're seeing right now. You're not seeing these guys. Amik is not going to be the number one corner in this defense. I'm sorry. Amik is fine.
Amik probably will be happy to make the roster.
Exactly.
I mean, last year, does anyone felt comfortable like with Amik, covering people? It doesn't matter what position. No, I felt scared. Like every time Amik was out there covering people.
Yeah. Why do you think this coaching staff went out and got an old Desmond Trufant? Or grabs a practice squad DB and Brandon Faison and plugs him in over Amik Robinson? There's a reason for that. And granted, Amik Robinson is probably better suited on the outside in man coverage. But at this next level, these wide receivers are so good. When you're talking about Amik being a man coverage guy, this is hard. This is a grown man's game. And if you're telling me I could take Rock Ya-Sin, Anthony Averett, Cravon LeBlanc, I know you say you want DB room. Jack, I would encourage you, go check out Cravon LeBlanc. And the thing that ties all these DBs together that we have is they're all aggressive tacklers, and they all get their head down in the running game. Guys like Nate Hobbs, Anthony Averett, Rock Ya-Sin, and Cravon LeBlanc, they're all dogs when it comes to getting down, putting their helmet in, getting aggressive in the run game, and they're all man coverage guys. They're guys that are willing to take risk. So like I said, I want to kind of let these cats play it out a little bit. Let those guys, like I was talking about it earlier, give these guys an opportunity to earn a spot. When you hold open a position, there's a guy on this bottom half of the roster that's going to put in the work his tail off, and earn that starting spot, and you'll probably have something special on your hands.
Ray, I can't even ask you a question because you answered my question before I can even answer it. Yes, on DBs. I will look them up, and I'll do my research on it, brother.
Cravon LeBlanc is a guy that Philly didn't even want to get rid of. And he's not getting a lot of talk out of the nation. This is a guy who just plays with swagger. He brings some juice. It's a lot like Anthony Averett. He's a bigger corner than what Anthony Averett is. But Anthony Averett, he's a 4-3 burner. He's a guy who emerged as the number one corner for the Baltimore Ravens last year when they were beat up with injuries. And their secondary didn't look the same when he was taken out of the game. So, look, this defensive back room has some good football players. Are they great? Are they all pros, et cetera, et cetera? Right now, no. And when you put them on a team with a front like this, when I go to Baltimore, the reason Anthony Averett had success, Baltimore tends to have a good front. When you go to a team like the Indianapolis Colts, they didn't have the best front, yet in man coverage, Rock Ya-Sin excelled. What happens when he comes over to the Las Vegas Raiders and you have one of the best pass rushing duos in the entire National Football League? Rock Ya-Sin is a player that's on an upward trajectory. Cravon LeBlanc doesn't have a ton of pass rushers, always forced to be put in a bad situation when it comes to secondary. Philly always goes and invests into these secondary players and asks them to do a lot without investing in a ton of pass rushers. And I think LeBlanc is a guy that Raider Nation is going to fall in love with. But look, Jack, we've got. If you got any questions, ask me. If not, we're gonna probably end up wrapping up the show. We've had a really good show, and but if there's anything you want to bring up before we start wrapping everything up,
Okay, one last thing.
okay.
So, Graham has always talked about having 4 good DBs, not counting a slot.
Yep.
We have 3. So, yes, the nation, we need one more good cornerback. And you know what? Ray brought up a good point. But we do need another one. We do need one more. Because you know what? If one guy goes down, then the ship's going to be rocked. It's like it's going to be a whole different system.
I think
So,
if you bring
thank you, Ray. I appreciate you, brother, for bringing me on. I love your content. I love supporting you. And Nation, sub and subscribe to Ray, and sub and subscribe to OG. That's just being a Raiders fan.
Yep. Jack, you're always more than welcome on this channel, bro. I love talking Raiders with you. We always chop it up. We see the game pretty similar. So I love having you on, brother. And I look forward to next live we do, and hopefully you can hop on and talk with me.
Absolutely, brother.
All right.
Have a good night.
Yep, you too. All right, chat, man. Look, we've gone for 2 hours and 15 minutes. I kind of went a little bit longer than what I wanted, but you guys are still in the chat. Look, shout out to the chat, man. I love you guys. You guys are so loyal. You guys have stayed with me this whole time, and the fact that 18 of you at 10:15 for me are willing to stay on and listen to me talk Raiders football with a few of my friends, it means more to me than what you guys know. You guys always have a voice here. This is a family that we're building, and we're only growing. So if you guys have not yet, man, subscribe to the channel. Hit it with the like button. If you're in the chat, you haven't liked the video yet, I don't ask much. Please go like the video. And I'm dropping a lot of content this week, you guys. I've really put in a lot of work. There's a lot of guys in the background. Like I said, Spotlight Sports Talk with Darren, another Raiders content creator, wants to have me on Tuesday. So I'm going to try to get with him and work that out and see if we can't get that going. Pharoah, I'm in talks with Pharoah. Hopefully we can get something going. It's just getting our schedules matched up. But Raider Nation, we got a lot of things coming down the pipeline, and everything's growing quick. And I absolutely love everybody in the chat. You guys are absolutely special. Lafayette came in and said, "Sup, Ray? What's going on?" We're wrapping up the show, man. You can check the rerun. And I would encourage you guys, when this live ends, go and blow up the chat section. Go and blow up the comments after this video, because it really helps this channel a lot. So Raider Nation, overview, man. Yep, Jack. I'm going to try to work it out with Pharoah, man. I think that everybody tries to link us, and it's just something that we're going to have to do. At this point, it's just something that we're going to have to do. Everybody wants to see it, and I love having conversation with Pharoah. It's just one of those guys that I could probably sit down and talk 2 hours of Raiders football with him, and we both just bounce ideas off of each other and really look at this roster and situations and come away with a few different takes than what's being put out there. So Raider Nation, man, what a night, what a show. It is absolutely fantastic. So you guys, we're going to be going live next week, dropping a lot of content. I updated you guys with all that. So all I have to say is, Raider Nation, shout out to all of you, man. May the Lord Jesus Christ bless each and every single one of you in this chat, man. If any of you guys are far, going through anything, man, drop it in the comment section. It's always good to talk about. Look, I'm a recovering I was addicted to alcohol, addicted to drugs. I mean, was out just doing terrible things. The Lord healed me of cancer. I had leukemia. The Lord took away cancer. And I'm just saying, aside of like all of what the Western church has done to destroy the name of Jesus, or try to based off of how they move, look, I found the Lord in this very room that you guys see me sitting in. And it's where you're at right now, man. You guys, the Bible says, call upon the name of the Lord and you shall be saved. He took an alcoholic, a guy that was just treating people that he loved like garbage, and he absolutely changed my life around. And I'm the type of guy, look, if Jesus ain't real, you don't even get me, because look, I would have failed. I would have gone back to everything I used to, because that's who I was. The Lord came into my life, man, and he changed everything for me. I would not be on this platform if he didn't encourage me to make more of my life. So I would encourage all of you guys, man, if you feel far from God, man, just seek him for yourself. Go get a Bible, anything that you guys need, man. You hit me up in the comment section, man. I'll pray. I'll reach out to you, talk to you personally. whether you're struggling with alcoholism or drugs or commitments or whatever the case may be, bro. I'm going to be there and just help point you guys to the one that has all the answers. I don't have all the answers, but I know who does. I know who's watching over you. Everybody that's in this chat, man, God has his eyes on you, and you have a calling and a purpose for your life. You were created for so much more, and never settle for less, man. Call upon the name of the Lord, you shall be saved, man. You're saved by grace through faith. It's not a works. It's a favor that we didn't deserve, bro. God left creation. He left heaven. Think about that for a second. Let me just paint a picture for you guys real quick before we get out of here. God Almighty left heaven, a beautiful creation, to come down to a fallen world, people that he created, lived among them, ate with them, drank with them, lived among them, felt sickness. God felt sickness, felt pain, felt hurt, felt feelings, felt physical pain, bled, and died on a cross, man, for me and you. It says we all fall short of the glory of God. And the gospel is actually beautiful when you just break it down, read it for yourself, and really get that one-on-one relationship with the Lord, man. The fact that he would leave and he died on a cross for me. If 7 billion other people were eliminated from this world and it was just me and Jesus still would have went to that cross and died for me so I could spend eternity with him. And that is just a beautiful, beautiful thing, brother. Jesus Christ is real. He is the way, the truth, and the life, man. The broad road looks good, right? It says broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many there be that find it. Narrow is the way that leads to eternal life. And I want to walk that narrow road, and everybody listening to me, I want you to walk that narrow road with me. It's hard and it's challenging at times, but man, I've never had more peace and love and joy, and to be able to love my wife, my family, to love strangers. This isn't something that was any part of my nature before. I would have stabbed anybody in the back before, but now, bro, straight up all about love, loving my neighbor as I love myself. And I'm just here to tell you about Jesus, man. That's it, man. The broad road looks good. The women, the drugs, the partying, all that stuff. It's all fun, right? The devil is really good at saying do whatever you want. And it's intriguing. It's enticing. But when you go and you walk that narrow road, man, you have an eternal reward waiting for you. And it's the kingdom of God, bro. It's so much more. So Raider Nation, shout out to you guys. Thank you guys for sticking along, man. This is all bigger than football. It's all bigger than football. And I'm here to point you guys to the one that saved my soul, who healed me of cancer, took leukemia, cancer of the blood, right out of me a day before I was supposed to go get chemotherapy treatment. 2 men show up to my room and said that, hey, we're going to pray over your son, and we want to let you know everything's going to be okay. When they left, we called that church back that they said that they were from, and the pastor says, look, we never sent anybody. So I know that the Lord had sent, you call them angels, call them men of God, whatever you want to call it, sent it down, and I'm living proof that God still works today. God is still moving today, and he's still doing miracles to this day, man. So, oh, check this out. I was just about to wrap up, Nation, and Pharoah says he's about to pull up. Yeah, Pharoah, you can pull up, bro. We can talk for a little bit. I'm going to get off here pretty soon. I'm going to watch some UFC fights with my wife. And yeah, so we can chop it up for a few minutes, and then I'll drop the link real quick. He said just win at life. Courtney says just win at life. Thumbs up on that last comment alone is bigger than football, 100%. All right, so Raider Nation, you guys are getting a treat. I won't be able to be on long with Pharoah. I'm going to watch some fights with my wife, but I'm grateful that he got to hop on. But me and Pharoah, we're going to get it to work in Raider Nation. You guys have been asking for it, and we're going to do it. So without further ado, you guys, welcome Pharoah to the show. Pharoah, what's going on, my brother?
What's good, man? Sorry I'm late. I know I was trying to make it, but I had like little things going on. But hey, man, I'm always excited to chop up football with you, man. The new up-and-coming Raider content creator. I see you, man, making moves. You know what I'm saying?
It's just putting work.
But, man, so I don't know how much you covered today and what you were talking about, but, man, the Raiders, man, they're doing things that I haven't seen ever. You know what I mean? Like making smart signings, re-signing guys left and right that they should, and guys are happy to do so. And they're doing it on good contracts. The contracts like favorable to the team, which is going to equal to success on the field and off the field.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't even know if you're even like, I'm sure you do, but putting the pieces together, look at how many dudes on social media are coming out and supporting these guys that are getting extended. I mean, I would say over half the roster came out making posts about Hunter Renfro, congratulating him on the extension. And it's just like this organization, bro, is winning on so many levels that honestly, I'm at the point now, I'm taking a step back, and everybody's always talking about all these additions that we have to make and go out and pursue. And I just think we're at that point where we're finally at that point where I could say, like, we don't need anybody. If you want to go get a player and bring them in to complement this roster, you can. If you want to go get another DB for depth, or you want to go get a linebacker or a right tackle, whatever the case may be, right? They're really like an Ndamukong Suh situation. I would love to see an Ndamukong Suh in the silver and black. But to me, dude, it's like a cherry on an already good dessert. I mean,
Right.
You've created such depth on this football team. I really want to let these guys compete a little bit. Even like a guy like Cravon LeBlanc. It's a guy that I don't think people even talk about enough. You know what I mean? Coming over from Philly. This is a guy who's aggressive in the run game. Gets down. I mean, he can cover. He's a man-to-man cover corner. But look at the DB room. Anthony Avery, Rock Ya-Sin, Cravon LeBlanc, Nate Hobbs. A trait that all these dudes have in common is they come down and they're nasty tacklers. They're aggressive. They go, they take chances, and that's what I just love to see, man. I love what they've done all around with this entire roster. Yeah, could you nitpick and say, oh, there's not a sexy name here or there? Of course you could. 31 other teams in the National Football League are doing that right now. But really what they've built off of a 10-7 football team, dude, they've just thrown talent at an already good roster, and I'm cool to sit back and let these guys compete a little bit.
No, and I understand that completely. I mean, we don't have to make any moves for sure. Like the way our roster is set up, like the fact that we made the playoffs last year, so we have a nice little core here. Then we added some pieces, so technically we're pretty good. But it's just that when you're in a division like the AFC West, when you're in the AFC, just generally speaking, like we need every little piece of talent that we can get.
Oh, for sure. And you're adding to it, right? Like, I agree. You go and get good football players because that's what good organizations do, right? When they're good, they go and add good pieces. They don't stop, and they keep putting talent on an already good roster. My take is like, it's not that I don't want a Ndamukong or none of that. I want Ndamukong. I think Ndamukong Suh should and will be a Raider. Because when you go and add a guy like him, dude, it really helps the back half of that defense. And this Patrick Graham defense, these guys are really going to have to get caught up really quickly on a lot of things. A lot of these guys are going to be asked to move around a lot. They're going to have to learn a whole new system. They're playing a first year together. There's going to be a big learning curve for the guys on the back half. So that front seven, if it could get as good as possible, and the addition of an Ndamukong Suh next to a Bilal Nichols, and then you get the young cat Neil Farrell Jr. and Matthew Butler and Chandler Jones, Max Crosby, you're talking about one of the better fronts in all of football. All it does is benefit the back half of that defense.
No, I understand completely. And we have Chandler Jones, Max Crosby, so we have nothing to worry about as far as like that pass rush goes. But that being said, like I said, if we can add as much talent as possible, if there's someone available, and I think they're kind of setting themselves up for that with the available cap space they'll have, because usually around this time of year, we're kind of getting close to the cap. We've kind of like made so much signings that we don't even have that much money to even sign like our rookies, which we already signed already. We signed all our rookies. It looks like, looks like, I don't know if you heard, like we're looking to re-sign Denzel Perryman, possibly to an extension, which is interesting. I'm not saying that he's a bad player, but
no, I do. I had that same, dude, exactly what you just said. Like, I can feel your kind of tone. My concern was in that cover 3 Gus Bradley scheme, he wasn't asked to do that much. So his role was pretty simplified, and that was to get downhill. And I'm hoping that Patrick Graham kind of does the similar role with Denzel Perryman, where you're kind of asking him just kind of go downhill and really clean up the run defense. I hope that Patrick Graham doesn't ask him to cover, and I don't think he is because of the bodies that he's brought in. He's brought in a Kenny Young, a Jayon Brown. You got a Divine Diablo already on the roster. So you've got a kind of trio of guys that can cover. I'm curious, though. I'm kind of like you. I'm not saying that Denzel Perryman is a bad player. He had a phenomenal season last year. but I kind of want to see that be a consistent theme and not just kind of like a 1-year thing. If they're interested in signing him to a contract, it tells me probably at practice he's probably shown something.
Yeah, and he's one of the leaders on the team. He's a Pro Bowler last year. Played well. Played great. He was one of the best players on defense. It's just that Patrick Graham, I believe, like the middle linebacker position, he likes bigger linebackers.
Yep,
that's what he likes back over there. And a guy like, Perriman, he's not that big of a linebacker that that would fit that mold that Graham looks in at that position. So it's kind of interesting that they're looking to extend him. But hey, at the end of the day, what I like about Graham and what I like about McDaniels and the coaching staff is that they're going to look at the strengths of the players that they have on the roster, and they're going to put them in the best position to succeed. So I know a lot of us have been kind of speculating, oh, McDaniels is going to run this type of offense and Graham's going to run this type of defense. But at the end of the day, like, what makes them so good as coaches is the fact that they can take a player and take his strengths and capitalize on that. So
and so I brought it up earlier, and I was like, man, if somebody sat me down and was like, Ryan, use one word that would describe this entire offseason, and it would be versatility. And when you look at the back end of this defense, everything that Anthony Avery, Rock Ya-Sin, Cravon LeBlanc, all these guys, right? Trayvon Mullen, when you're talking about Tyreek Gillespie and Trayvon Moreau again, the style of Jonathan Abram and Daron Harmon. Talk about the pass rushers that are interchangeable, the defensive tackles. You've got Big Hankins and Neil Farrell Jr., which me personally, I think Neil Farrell should probably get more reps at this point than Jonathan Hankins. We can talk about that in a second, why I think that. Bilal Nichols, who offers you, averages 6.5 sacks a season from the inside. Matthew Butler, one of those kind of more pass rush type of defensive tackles. When you look at the wide receiver room, interchangeable, can do a lot of things. The running back room, completely interchangeable, can do a lot of things. Your offensive line, same thing. There's a theme going on here with the Las Vegas Raiders, and it's that we're not going to be tied in to one specific style each and every single week. It's going to be a fluid system. It's going to be something that's you're going to always constantly be able to attack the weaknesses of whatever team you're playing against.
And you know what? Let's talk about because you're mentioning all these players. And we just passed this week was a mini camp for the Raiders, and we've kind of seen a little bit of who was starting, who's starting an O-line, who was the starting D-line. We kind of had like a glimpse at that. Are you looking too much into that, or do you feel like?
No, I just addressed this. This was something I wanted to address earlier in the video, but I just addressed it kind of like right before you got on, and I think everybody's buying way too much into this media narrative. Like, they're like, oh, I was so high on Amik Robinson because they seen Amik Robinson was getting first team reps on the outside, or they seen a Lester Cotton getting starting reps at the right guard position. And look, what this coaching staff is doing is what a good coaching staff does, and they're getting looks at every single player regardless of where you are on the roster. And I think that this is what a good coaching staff does this time of the year, because this is a regime that's coming into their first year with the Las Vegas Raiders, and they need to know what they have on this roster. So, yeah, they're going to put Amik in really tough situations. They're going to put Amik outside with the first team rep and say, hey, go guard Devontae, because I guarantee you they want 10 to 15 reps on film to go and break down and be like, okay, yeah, Amik, this is not his spot. This isn't where he's going to go. Yeah, they're going to put Lester Cotton in there against the starting lineup of the first team defense. They're going to put a Brandon Parker out there. They're going to put a Bam Asoleni out there. And because they're going to put guys on film and see what it is they have.
Yeah. And one of the things that caught my eye was that they had Matt Collins starting at that other outside receiver position, and I thought it was very, very interesting. But like you said, what they're trying to do is what they're telling us. I think the biggest thing that we can take away from that, because you made a good point as far as that they're trying to evaluate the players on the roster, but also we can say that position group is they're looking at as a position. There's going to be a position battle there. We can safely say, like, so the fact that we've seen about two different starters at right tackle, obviously going into it, we kind of knew, but now you could see it. It's on. We've seen it on the field. They're looking at multiple players at that position. Same thing with the outside receiver spot. They had Matt Collins starting on the outside. We all know that most likely they're going to be looking at other receivers at that spot too as well. Mac Hollins was a guy that we didn't even talk about going into minicamp. He was just a guy that we thought like, okay, he was a big receiver, red zone target, mostly a special teamer. But what that tells me is that there's going to be a position battle there. So I think that's what you can take away from that too as well, is that where they look at certain positions as like, okay, they're not really set. We're still trying to figure out like who's going to be that guy.
All right, so of those four receivers, right? We got the Keelan Cole, the Tyron Johnson, Demarcus Robinson, and Mac Hollins. And really, we need one of them to emerge. And something that's unique about this position that these guys are in compared to guys in times past like Zay Jones, Nelson Aguilar. Derek does a really good job of giving these guys an opportunity to really go and earn a contract. But these guys are in an even more unique situation, and I'll explain why. And it's the amount of coverage that's going to go over to Devontae Adams, Hunter, and Darren Waller. These guys are really going to be getting attacked by the depth of all these defensive rosters. That's not even talking about if we go up against teams that have secondary injuries, yada, yada. Players like Nelson Aguilar, Zay Jones, they were going up against CB1, CB2s. They were getting the best players on the defensive rosters. And these guys, these group of four guys, they're not going to be in that position. So really, if one of these guys can emerge, really come into camp and work, these guys have even more of an opportunity to really go and secure a future, which is why I like the fact that all these guys are on one-year deals. You're creating a group of guys right there with those four names specifically. Mm-hmm. You need one of them to emerge, one of them to go all in and really take hold of that spot. Now, of those four, who do you have your eye on of this could be the kid that takes over that role?
It's hard to say. I would say like best case scenario, you know what I mean? And I've talked about this like all offseason, even after the Devontae Adams, even before that, is that we need some speed. Mm-hmm. So if Tyron Johnson somehow, some way, he puts in the work, he's at Derek Carr's house, banging the door, like literally waking him up to run routes, to catch him balls, pause. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like if he's putting in the work like Zay Jones did with Derek Carr and other pass receivers that had great chemistry with Carr, that's the best case scenario, meaning that like he would fit perfectly with the pieces that we have in offense. You know what I mean? And that's what it's going to take.
Like when they talk about Tyron and being this speedy guy, I think that they think like he's this smaller, compact guy, but this is a dude that's 6'1". He's like that 191. Like he has a really good frame and runs a 4.32. Like everything on paper. Like when you go back and you look at when he was with Keenan Allen and Mike Williams and that kind of group out there, when he wasn't asked to be the guy, he really had a good year. He was hitting on the door of 400 yards, had 4+ touchdowns. And that, just that amount of stats alone right there, that would be huge for this Raiders offense. That his speed opens things up for those guys like Devontae and Darren and Hunter. And look, you're already going to be asked to cover every single inch of the field. Like you got two of the best route runners in all of football, and you probably have a top 3 tight end in the entire league on this one roster. So these guys have such an opportunity, Pharoah, that like Derek Carr is going to spread you the football. And there's going to be situations where these guys are going to be on matchup nightmares. Who's to say that these DB rooms get injured and you got practice squad players going up against Tyron Johnson, a guy with 4.32 speed? I mean, he has a real opportunity, dude, to go out there and earn a contract.
It's going to be two things. It's going to be chemistry with Carr and how well they soak up this offense. That's going to be the biggest thing because it's going to be a brand new offense. We all know, we've all heard that McDaniel's offense is pretty tough. Mm-hmm. We heard Waller talk about it. We heard Derek Carr talk about it, how this is a very, it's a tough offense, a different offense, but they understand how successful this offense has been. So they believe in this offense too as well. So, they're in the beginning process of learning this, but I feel like whoever is going to step on the outside is going to chemistry. And it's as much as I want Tyron Johnson, this speedy guy, to win the battle, but if he doesn't have any chemistry with Carr, or if he doesn't, soak up that offense, he doesn't learn that offense as well, then they're going to be looking at another guy. So whoever that is, I feel like they might make a move at that receiver position. It's a possibility, maybe, like to get a veteran.
Yeah, I thought that too. Look, dude, who's to say Odell don't come back later in the year and you've got some cap space that you still have floating around or sitting around?
Right.
and you want to go make a serious move, and then you're really looking at a wide receiver room that's like bro, you can do whatever you want. I mean, it's Devontae, Hunter, Darren, and a guy like Odell Beckham Jr. I know some of the nation might be split on it, but I think you're in the same boat I'm in. Look, good football teams go and get good football players. And for Odell to be a fourth option in this offense, bro, I would go do it immediately.
And I'm not, be honest with you, I'm not worried about the offense. I think there probably will be a little bit of like, they're going to have to get used to it a little bit, but they're so talented that learning curve is going to be, it's not going to be as high. They're going to figure it out. Derek Carr is going to figure out, he's going to live and breathe that playbook. He's going to figure out how to put players in the best position to seed. Guys like Devontae Adams, that they are who they are for a reason. And that I'm not worried about the offense. What I'm concerned about is that defense. And just looking at the past coaching stops that were, Patrick Graham coached, that defense, it does take a time to gel and learn that defense. But it's the type of defense that gets better as the season goes on.
Yeah, no, I've openly came out and said I think that this defense is going to have a lot more learning curve than I do the offense. The offense, when you're having a leader like Derek Carr, you got guys like Devontae Adams, who is just a pros pro, Darren Waller, a pros pro, Hunter, a pros pro. I mean, dude, like the offense, I think, is going to be in good hands. Are they going to have some learning curves? Of course, it's a new system. We see that every time something like this gets established. But on the defensive side of the football, that's where I'm like, look, especially those beginning weeks, this is going to be the first time a lot of these dudes have played together. So it's going to take a minute. That's why I think building that front seven as good as possible can only benefit this team. I'm going to address this. As a Raider fan, I'm absolutely love these guys talking Raiders. Yeah, man, look, me and Pharoah, we're going to do our best, man. Whenever his schedule is, we'll talk more off the scenes about all that to bring you guys some more content.
Sure.
I love talking with this guy. I could probably spend 2 hours talking with this guy. So in the future, yeah, we'll link up and get something going for you guys. I think we can get Julio for less than what we pay OBJ. Okay, so Pharoah, OBJ or Julio, I got my guy. Who's your guy?
Okay. The thing about Julio, I was big on getting Julio last year. Last year when he was available, I'm like, oh my God, we need to get this guy. He would be perfect. Mm-hmm. On the other side, you have Ruggs, and then I'm thinking Julio on the other side, you have established number one. Obviously, there was questions about his health, but I was like, man, this is a good risk to take. It's, I felt like it was a good idea. Fast forward now, obviously he got hurt with the Titans. Then he wasn't as productive. I don't know what happened. I don't know if injuries have caught up to him. Is he still the same player? I'm not sure what's going on with him. So he would have to come. If he's coming to us, he would have to come for the right price, right, and understand what his role is on this team, because the top dog is obviously Tay Adams, and throwing Darren Waller, even Renfro. You know what I'm saying? Like, because he's built up that chemistry with Carr. And a guy like Julio Jones, he needs to understand that he's going to be a situational player for us. And same thing, and you could probably say that about OBJ as well. But I think OBJ we've kind of seen him more productive than Julio.
Yeah, Julio as of late. Yeah, they're kind of in that weird. They're in the kind of same talk right now. As far as you're talking about guys who are dealing with injuries, I just think Odell right now could probably offer, if he's healthy, Odell right now could probably offer you more. I would like Julio. I think Julio could give you an option, especially in the red zone, like a big body guy. We've seen Derek Carr love to throw that back shoulder fade. I think that's something that Julio could really thrive in. He wouldn't have to come in and have the 900-yard season to be productive in this offense. But if I had to pick between the two right now where it stands, it just basically goes off of health for me, really. I mean, Odell Beckham Jr. is probably the guy I would probably lean to.
It's hard saying that because, like, technically Julio's healthy right now. He's healthy enough to sign. Like, we can actually sign him right now, and he can come into training camp. Right now, OBJ is not healthy. He is not healthy.
Julio or OBJ is not healthy?
OBJ is not healthy right now because he tore his ACL in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's a recovery process in its own. So that means that he's not going to get fully healthy until the season starts. So it doesn't really make sense to really offer him a contract right now. That's a roster spot. That's like money that you're like literally wasting because he's not going to play. Yeah, you know that he's not going to play how many games? Like, you know, so the smart thing to do is probably, if you're going to give him a contract now, pay him for the amount that you think he's going to play next season. You know, it might be 8 games. He might only play 8 games next year. You know, we don't know when he's going to be coming back. We don't know when he's going to be available. Julio technically is available right now to be signed. He's healthy enough to actually go into, you know, I think they're pretty much done with mini camps, but at least training camp and practice with the team and learn that playbook.
Yeah, I don't think Julio's a guy that's like rushing to sign. This is a veteran who knows what it takes to be a pro. I could see him getting signed more around training camp. It's interesting, bro. It's an interesting take.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. We're at like right now we're talking about like free agency, and it's literally at this point it's like you're lucky to even get a guy that will actually contribute at this point. Like there are, not to say that there are not any players that we can't pick up. It's just they're available for a reason.
I know, and that's why everybody's on this train of like, go get Darrell Williams. And like, if Darrell Williams was as popular as all these threads make him out to be, 31 other teams would have probably kicked a tire on him. There's a reason why Darrell Williams is still a free agent. There's a reason why he's either asking too much or teams just don't see him right there. And at a position of need, look, there's a lot of teams that could probably use a decent right tackle. The fact that he's not signed yet, look, I'm not worried about it. It's not something where I'm like, okay, we need to absolutely go get Darrell Williams. Like I said, could we bring in these players? Sue, Darrell Williams. You go down, OBJ, Julio. You can, but these aren't the guys that are going to shift and change the whole dynamic of our offseason. I really like what we're doing. I like the versatility that we've created. I'm hoping Denzel Good can come in and be healthy. This roster has a lot of good players on it, Pharoah. I just want these guys to compete. I want somebody to go out there and have an opportunity to earn a spot. That's where I'm at.
And we don't want to forget, like, one of the biggest acquisitions this offseason was the coaching staff. The coaching staff, the front office, but most importantly, obviously, the coaches that we have on this roster. And the coaches are the ones that are going to put the players in the best position to succeed. They're going to help develop the players on the roster. Obviously, they added players that they felt that they needed to add to take this team to the next level, but they also didn't make moves because they felt like some of the players on the roster are players that they can develop, coach up, and get them playing the way they want to play. And since we're talking about the O-line, that's a position group where they really didn't address too much. They weren't as aggressive as we wanted them to be, because obviously, like, we're recovering from last year and the trauma that we see, everything that we kind of experienced watching games of Carr getting sacked and Leatherwood just getting abused, and the revolving door at right tackle that, you know, we kind of grown accustomed to seeing last year. We're like, hey, we need to get somebody, and they did address. They got some young pieces on the O-line, obviously with Parham, and I think Munford was drafted in the 6th, 7th round.
Mm-hmm.
So they got some young pieces that they're going to develop. I think Parham is going to probably contribute a little bit earlier, possibly, but we'll see. We'll see how it shakes out. It just seems like they believe in the young talent on the O-line, because our O-line is pretty much young. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. And even like a guy like Bam Asoleni, this reminds me of when San Francisco takes Trent Brown in the 7th round, and the whole narrative, he's too big, he's too slow, he'll never work out at the next level. And then he gets that shot over there in New England with the same exact coaching staff that we have. And this is a guy that they really like. This is a guy who's got something that you just can't coach, right? He's 6'8", 350 pounds. He has 88 and 3/8 inch arms, which puts him at number 1 among all tackles in the National Football League. I mean, he's that long. So he's 26 years old. He's only played the tackle position for 3 years. Who's to say Coach Brasillo doesn't put this kid on a practice squad, a protected practice squad, or let him compete for a backup spot on this team? And look, dude, there's photos of him coming out after practice, getting after practice reps with a guy like Chandler Jones. And that's huge. When a young player like that is coming in and is willing to put in the work with a all-pro pass rusher like that after practice, it shows me that he's willing to work and get better and work at things. And this is a guy that can fit in the power gap scheme. Like in the running game, I'm not even really that worried about him. He does really good at sealing off and creating lanes for running backs. He did it a lot at the University of Utah. It's pass protection. It's, again, his feet and his hands down at the same time. And Coach Brasillo has done a great job at developing guys with their hands and their feet. So this is just a kid. I'm not sitting here saying he's going to be the starting right tackle. So hear me out. That's not the case. But we've seen with the Patriots organization that they do a really good job of finding these undrafted free agents. They find all these guys in the late round drafts that really come in and start contributing to the roster pretty quickly. And that's why my eyes have gone to a lot of the undrafted free agents and a lot of those later round picks, because these are guys that this coaching staff devours. They get these guys on really cheap, affordable contracts, and they come in and they earn a huge contract, right? They fit in. It's happened a lot in New England. So, yeah, I mean, I'm completely okay right now. Really, dude, I just want to watch some preseason games and really see where the depth of this football team sits and lies, and see what the real needs are. I think you let training camp play out. I think you let these guys get some reps in actual games and then go address some of these needs towards the end of training camp and start filling in where you need to address some holes.
Well, they're gonna get in like 2 weeks earlier than everybody else to training camp, and obviously we're gonna be the first team that plays in training camp as far as a game goes, because I think we're playing in a Hall of Fame game. And you just said that Mumford was 26 years old.
No, Bam Asoleni.
Okay, I see. It's pretty old. He's old for. That's probably contributed to his draft stock. But yeah, man. Hey, man, I'm excited as everybody else. And like I've been saying this all off season, man. I'm waiting for. I'm ready for the season to start tomorrow. Honestly, because we've gotten all these players, we've gotten the coaching staff. Now I want to see how this team gels. I want to see how these players respond to the coaching staff, because that's another piece to it. Because last year was last year. This is a new year. I know we got players that are still on this team, but they're learning a new offense. They're learning a new defense. I want to see how this team responds to this coaching staff. I want to see I just want to see how they respond to competition, because right off the gate, we're playing the LA Chargers, and they're coming for blood.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
Wait, are you familiar with StreamYard at all, Pharoah?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I just put you in if I hit
so you don't even have to, I don't think you even have to do that. So I'm just to make it less confusing, if you just end the stream, it'll say you'll see on that same screen, you see where it says live.
Yeah, well, I see where it says in broadcast. That's the only option. But every time I've done that and hit in broadcast, it's completely closed out everything and kicked everybody out of the background. So I didn't know if there's something specific I have to do.
Oh, no. So like, look, if I can like remove myself from the stream.
Yep.
But once you end broadcast, you shouldn't like literally, you should still see the screen that you see now, if that makes sense.
Okay, so what if I just hit leave studio? Okay, we'll get it figured out.
Don't leave studio. Don't leave. Okay. When you end, because end broadcast is you're ending the live broadcast, and then it should just keep you there. Exactly, and then you don't even have to put me backstage. You could just put end broadcast, and that part where it says live, that will turn into like, okay, live broadcast ended. So that tells you like you're not on live. Yep. And then like we can continue to talk. Okay. All right. Well, if it doesn't work, I'll hit you up on Instagram, because I've tried doing this before and it closed out everything. So yeah, just don't leave the studio. Leaving the studio as a whole, like you're actually leaving the studio. Just click on end broadcast when you're ready to do that, and then just stay in the studio. Should be good. Okay. Yeah. So stay there, and I'll hit you up real quick. We'll talk for a minute or two. I'm about to go watch the fights with my wife. But I was just going to talk to you real quick off of camera. And then, so everybody listening to us, I love getting to talk with this guy. I love it. And I know that the nation loves it. Everybody go over to Pharoah's channel, man. Subscribe, support this man. He's really knowledgeable. I love his stuff. Really great guy. And we'll be coming out with some stuff here in the future. So shout out to the chat, man. It was a phenomenal night. I appreciate all you guys, all the love and support. We're growing rapidly, and that's only because of you guys. So much love to all the nation. And we'll be back soon. I'm dropping a lot of content this week, so stay tuned for that. Hit the notification icon, sub to the channel, like this video. Raider Nation, until next time, y'all, just win, baby. Peace.